Hello, heroes and villains. Welcome to Multiverse. Hello, Shadow Lady.
Hello, Multi. Hello, everyone.
Happy New Year to everyone. Hopefully, 2025 will be a good one. Oh, we have a robot with us.
I turned off the sound. I'm so sorry. That's me getting messages.
That's all right.
Your live has not come up yet.
Yeah, I see it here.
Oh, good.
I'll let you talk. I have to finish setting things up. So,
Ah,
how was your holidays?
they were okay. They were busy. Um, my family celebrates our Christmas on the 1st rather than on the 25th just because we allow, our family members to be able to go out and celebrate with their partners if they want and then come back and have a celebration with our family, and that's worked really well for us. And on the 1st, we decided we were doing a really relaxed Christmas because, at the moment, my house is kind of screwed up because one of the larger rooms that we have is non-usable until they fix the roof. So while that's the case, we don't really have space to set up for a nice formal Christmas thing, which is what my sister would prefer. So we did pizza and sit around and chat and eat junk food. So that was actually really nice. That's my preference. I'm not really a fancy person, so that was good. I had a good time with that.
Glad you had a good time.
Me too. Thanks. How was yours?
It was good. It was good. I went to my father's a bit, and the rest of the time I stayed with my old doggo Rocky.
I hope Rocky had fun. I heard that Rocky got some lovely food for his Christmas.
Yes, I got some nice turkey.
Excellent.
He was pretty happy. Slept like a log afterwards.
Rocky eating better than me at the moment. Now, pizza's good. Pizza's good.
So today, for those wondering, we are going to play the Wonderverse missions. After that, we'll probably play maybe the Harley Quinn missions. We'll see. And if we have some more time, we might even play some omnibuses. So
Sounds like fun to me.
YT King posted a whole bunch of emojis, I guess. I have no idea.
I don't know what any of those mean.
Me neither. That's what I was going to say. Although,
The first one's pretty cute.
although when the Wonderverse DLC was announced, some people were not too happy. So could be that no one will want to play this. We'll see.
I'm looking forward to it. I like the Wonderverse stuff.
Uh, I didn't try to play it just yet, so I don't know if there's a lot of people on the map or not. We'll find out soon enough. So if you guys want to come and play with us, either send me a tell. That's probably the easiest way. Send me a tell. If not, come and join us over here. If people come here, we'll invite them. If not, we'll invite whoever is willing to come with us. Obviously, to play the Wonderverse DLC, we have to have people that have combat rating. It's been a while, so let's look it up.
Yeah, I have no
Two,
idea.
People have to be combat rating 280, so that shouldn't be too hard to find. But you never know.
PB said, Zed said that I don't like the Wonderverse content. And yet you're here. I mean, it's good for the currency, though.
Right now, we are in the House of Legends, where there's Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. But just send me a tell in game. Also, the easiest is probably send me a tell, and I'll invite you from there. But if you come and join us here, I'll invite you as well.
We are in Phase 7, for anyone who's wondering.
Yes. There wasn't that many people in Phase 7. I guess it was a brand new phase or something. So I decided to grab it while we could. And right now there should be 30-something people already. So
Yep, they saw you and were like, let's go!
could be,
I see
could
that,
be.
but none of them are out here. We don't know. Raven's asking, do you play on PS4? I personally have both consoles. When I do a live with Multi, I'm on my PS4 because it doesn't cut out as often. I don't get booted from the game as much. But Multi is playing on PS5, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. Are you using PS5 client as well?
Yeah, I tried to keep the PS4 for a while. I kept the PS4 client for a while, but at some point I had pretty much the same issues or as many issues on PS4 than I did on PS5. So at some point I just gave up, stopped playing on the PS4, using the PS4 client, and just used the PS5 client. Actually, when the issues were too bad, like when the game would keep on crashing or when the frame rate was horrible, I just didn't play for a while. I waited for them to actually fix it, which took a while.
Beautiful.
And
Even when
technically,
I play on my PS5, I don't use the PS5 client.
for the
I'm a pro.
crashes, they don't seem to have fixed it just yet, sadly.
YT King said that they were just reacting to being in the group. Were you not in the group last time? I at least remember reading comments from you before, if you weren't in the group last time. But your character looking super cool. I love that aura with that cloak. It's a good combo.
And we play on the hero side for those wondering. Although when we go to the open world, it doesn't matter if you're hero or villains. You can join us to the open world afterwards.
NWG4 is asking where is the location. We're inside the hero side of the House of Legends.
Yes, phase 7.
Yeah. Phase 7. Oh, and Great White Wonder says, hey, Multiverse, big fan. You have a lot of big fans, Multi.
Well, thank you. Shadow Knight says also, hello everyone, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Shadow Knight.
Oh, I missed that. I'm so sorry, Shadow Knight. My bad.
That's all right.
And Happy New Year.
Well, let's give a little bow to everyone because why not?
Oh, what is Phase 7? Okay, so NWG4 is asking. Multiverse should probably answer that one because he can show you on screen.
Yeah, if you go to your map, you go to phases, you'll see there's a whole bunch of phases. Here we are in phase 7.
Beautiful. Aiden's. Oh, hi, Aiden says hi, you girl. Did you see that I put out the shot of your character attacking my character with that green thing? I put that out. It should be out by now, at least. YT King says, yeah, I was, but only at the end. I just got in from work. Oh, and thanks you guys liked my last look and this new one. I like a lot of new looks, I will say. But it's nice to know I wasn't remembering it correctly and that you have been here before.
I guess while we wait, we'll go play the 4-player mission. And yeah, hi, Aiden. Oh, NWG4. It could be that maybe you play on the European server. If that's the case, yeah, maybe you have less faces, or maybe you play on Switch. We play on US PlayStation and US PC. So sadly, you have to be on those servers to be able to see us. If you are on another server, sadly, yes, it's quite possible you see only 3 phases.
Yeah, I would say most likely that is a PSPC EU if there's 3 phases. Switch would only have 1. But yeah, if you're not on the US server, unfortunately, can't come.
IJMJ is asking, love your videos. Do we know anything about the anniversary event just yet? We don't know anything. If I was a betting man, I would say that they're probably going to be to launch it directly. I don't think we're going to get it for like 2 weeks on the test server as usual. And the test server, basically the test server is pretty much taken down until January 7th. So if I was a betting man, I would say that we'll probably get the anniversary event on January 7th, and we're probably not going to test it. That would be my guess, but I could be wrong.
You're so rarely wrong.
What I do now, I do for you. When my task is done, it will.
Oh, you go.
That's okay. Ronald is asking, do you know any for the future of DCUO? Honestly, at this point, you guys know as much as I do. We don't have any information. All we really know is that we're not going to get episodes anymore. Now it's going to be chapters. From what we know, the next storyline sort of will be 4 chapters. So depending on how things are going, we lost. There we go. So depending on how things are going, yeah, I was just picking up PPZ.
Oh, good.
So depending on how things are going, we're probably going to get the next storyline for quite a bit. and hopefully it's going to be a good one because, like, if we get, let's say, chapter one and chapter one stinks, and we know that there's going to be 4 chapters, it's going to be along 4 chapters. So hopefully people will enjoy the first chapter. That will give us an indication of what to expect in the sort of near future. Now, 2025 will be 2025 will be an important year for DCUO. It's
PPZ knows what he's doing.
well, it's going to give us an indication of what do we have to do with the words? I forget. I haven't played this mission in a long time.
Same. I vaguely remember it, but it looks like PPZ has it memorized. I'm the kind of person who would be like, yeah, I'm gonna have to look this up because I can't recall.
I think the last time.
Icons in here you see along the walls as you come through, so I can't remember which ones they are though.
I think the last time I played this DLC, it was still the current DLC.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I played it once since it was a current DLC. Are we gonna guess or are we gonna go look? Oh, PPZ's got it.
PP seems to have things in hand.
It's funny, he's the one who was like, I don't really like this content, and yet he's the one doing it all for us.
Yeah, well, seeing the puzzles, it reminds me probably why I didn't play it as much. Sadly, whenever there's puzzles like this, whenever there are puzzles like this, it can be challenging. Especially, I play a lot with random players, so when you end up with an mission with a lot of puzzles with random players, it's a bit of a mess sometimes.
It is. But, the last time I played this was when I was playing on the Switch, so that has to be at least a year ago, I think. I like how we're just trusting PP, and he's like, I don't know, I'm just picking randomly. He got 2 right, though. That's not bad. There's no way I would have done that.
That's okay. Worst comes to worst, we'll mess it up, and we'll
still get through either way.
Yeah, we'll get through it. If we have to fight a few enemies, that's fine. It's not a big deal.
True. If I hadn't known we were playing this content, I would have probably looked it up beforehand, and then been like, no, I totally know it.
Nah, I never look it up. If I don't know it, I don't know it, it's fine.
Or I would have paid attention to the walls. I didn't pay attention.
I didn't pay attention at all either.
We're too busy chatting away. Ollie is asking, are you French-Canadian?
Yes, I am.
It explains so much.
Yeah, sadly, we're stuck with the evil Justin Trudeau. Oh yeah, okay. So here, we can see on the walls here. We do have the hint of what thing we need.
Yeah, I should have paid attention. I wasn't paying attention.
So yeah, we should have kept an eye on what the sigils on the walls were. It happens.
Yeah. Abby Sue says, hello DC fam. Hello, Abby! Abby's on my channel too. She's lovely. There we go. How do you feel? I think actually you asked me this. Multiverse messaged me the other day when I was like falling asleep on the game. So he asked me what I think of the new daily rewards, and I was like, I was supposed to go to bed a few hours ago. And I hadn't even looked at the new daily rewards yet. But now I'm curious on your thoughts on the daily rewards.
For those who are wondering, like if we go to the daily rewards menu, they did make some changes. So they've added some gear boxes. So instead of just giving us a set of gear, we do get boxes, and in those boxes we have a choice of 4 random pieces of gear. And hopefully we'll get something we need. Obviously, if you've been playing for a while and if you have a lot of styles, odds are you to get 4 styles that you already have. Ideally, you should probably get those boxes with an alternate character that doesn't have a lot of styles. That way, at the very least, you'll get the styles for your character. Or if you have a character that needs some gear, like a low-level character that needs some better gear. That would be an option as well. If you open it with your main character, the odds are you're going to get 4 pieces of gear that you cannot use, and you're going to get four styles that you already have. And sadly, for the 21-day reward, it would seem that they're going to go for an option where they don't have to create new assets. So in this case, like this, right now they're going to give us a brand new mega capsule that we're going to get later this week, this month. If we take a quick look, yeah, there's a bit of lag in the menu. Sorry about that. If we look,
There's a bit of lag in that menu.
if we look for the 21-day reward, so we are going to get one of the new mega capsule that we will get this month, and it would seem that the items we will get with this time capsule, or the new item we will get, will be a power regalia accessory. So whatever that is. Some people have speculated that it was going to be like the Green Lantern emblem that we have that kind of floats in front of our characters.
Oh, yeah.
Some people have been speculating that maybe that's what we're going to get. But it seems to be power related, so we'll see.
I personally, I don't think anyone's really very happy about the new way that the rewards are given, but I personally am frustrated because I used to find out what the style was, look it up online, and then choose which character to collect it on based on whether I thought that style would suit that character or not. Now that it's random, I can't do that. And I just kind of have to hope I get something that works for whichever character I open them on. I definitely will go with what you said, though. I won't be opening it on my main because the style... maybe on PlayStation I will, because I haven't been playing on here very long, but elsewhere I won't open it on my main because it's going to be low level and it's going to be something I likely already have the style for. So, I don't know. I don't like it. I see why they're doing it, though, but I don't like it.
Yeah, it just... oh, the weapon racks.
Get your weapon rack to get your ability back. Hey, that almost rhymed. Not
Almost.
quite.
Oh, don't attack when she blocks.
Don't attack, don't attack, don't attack. We can just stay over here and dance. Nope, behind a statue.
My statue. You stole my statue.
No, we can share! Just don't tell people we were behind a statue together, okay? Good.
Too late.
Everybody saw it. It's too late. Oh, what's it is saying, ouch, that mic is very loud. Is that my mic?
Tragic that I must use it to escape my
I'm sorry if it's my mic, guys.
I can lower it a bit.
Yeah. I apologize. Your poor ears. I know how my voice sounds.
Say something.
Hello.
I'm trying not to move.
The Wonderverse game playing. I don't know what to say. I have nothing to say.
Let's hope this does it. I don't want to lower it too much because we're not going to hear you, but oh, Aiden says I'm in all the phases.
You're omnipresent within the game. I never mind.
Now you're Omniverse.
I'm omniverse, but you can be omnipresent multiverse.
Could be.
I actually have created a character that's omniverse, but she's not ready yet.
Didn't you call her Miss Omniverse or something?
Yeah, Ms. Omniverse. Because other omniverses were taken.
Oh, I see.
Ms. Omniverse. I was just going to call her Omniverse, and that was taken. So then I was going to call her the Omniverse, because you're the multiverse. So I thought that would work, but no, that was also taken. So, Ms. Omniverse it is.
I thought maybe you were an evil sexist.
Not at all. Just a regular one, no. There we go. So, have you opened more than one of the armor boxes from the daily rewards yet?
I've opened 2 so far.
And it's random each time, so it's not like the 4 options that you get in the first one are going to be matching in the second one, is it?
Not at all. It's really for random from whatever, and in some cases you can also have it could happen that you get the same choice twice. Because
I don't even get a completed style, most likely, by the end of it.
Nah, it won't. It won't. Unless
Geez, I hate it.
if you do get a complete style, you're gonna be really, really lucky. Oh, we don't see the characters. Holy glitches! So if you do get a complete style, it'd be a miracle because it's literally 4 random pieces of style from whatever.
Yeah.
And
Are you supposed to be
I don't know.
enhanced one as well?
I don't know if it includes everything. Like basically, we had some styles in the daily rewards that we don't have access to anymore. So I'm wondering if those styles might be included. Uh, I saw some styles from the what's his name, the monitor. So they seem to include styles from events or special events, but
Okay.
that could be a fluke. That could have been an exception. But so far, yeah, I can't really say I saw anything worth having.
I'm really annoyed by it.
And you
At
get
least at the end, I would have liked to have got a complete style. Now
and
there's
you,
no
you
guarantee of that.
and you get 2 pieces of style for DPS, 2 pieces of style
Tank in my case, but
for
it's
your
still up to
role.
you.
Uh,
Yeah.
and that's why you could end up having twice the same style. Like you could get let's say the nuclear boots for DPS and the nuclear boots for let's say controller.
Yeah. I hate it. I hate it. I
Uh,
want the old ones back.
nah, it's
But they don't care what I want, so.
we're not going back sadly.
No. Ugh, that is a little bit of a deterrent from me having a membership, though, I will say, because one of the things I really liked was the 21-day item. The Surgeon's Mega Capsule really isn't floating my boat there.
Well, that was the whole point of the 21-day item. It was supposed to be desirable items or highly requested items that people wanted to have. So if you want people to give you $15 a month, you have to give them something valuable. And sadly, they I don't know, they lost track of that, or it was too much work for them. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like it. I mean, there are other reasons that I have the membership, not just that, but that really does not feel good. It's biting me. It's not nice.
I guess we're done. Then thought it would last longer than that.
No, we're two kick-offs.
I guess
You
we
two
are.
are. I say we. It's probably everyone except my character, but you know.
So
Two artifacts with you for a breakthrough that I haven't even done yet, and here I am playing. Ugh.
oh, terrible. Oh, let's invite our friend Donna Troy here. So we're going to pick up people to play the raid. So if you guys want to come and play with us, oh, I cannot. Oh, there he is. Why can I can't invite her to group? I'm so sad now.
Did you leave? Did you leave the mission?
Oh, that's why.
Uh,
Freaking operation, I hate that.
yeah.
So guys, if you want to come and play with us, the time is now. So we'll wait a bit for people to be able to join us. Worst comes to worst, if somehow we don't get the a full group, we'll just care for whoever we have, and hopefully the matchmaking will fill in the rest. Oh,
We're
here we go.
dancing. Sorry.
I guess we
I'm an
are.
adult. I'm an adult who's had very little sleep. Oh, Dose of Wrestling says, sup, guys? Sup.
Sup.
That is something I wouldn't normally say, sup. I think the thing I say most often to be, like, really short and say hello is yo. It's usually to my brothers. Aww, he stopped dancing with me. I was dancing alone like a loser. Okay, I'm done.
So it then says your mic is loud because it's from Australia or something.
Oh. So it's a struggle connection? What's a struggle? Hang on. Struggle
I'm
connection?
not sure. But we have our full group, so let us care for the mission. So for those who maybe were not able to get in the group, that's fine. We are going to go to the open world afterwards, and we're going to go play the bounties. So, and even if you are evil villains, you should be able to go to the open world as well and play the bounties with us.
Oh, he said it's fine wherever she is, but once it reaches multiverse, it's barely made it. But if that was the case, wouldn't I be like super quiet? Because it's had to reach so far? I don't know. I would have thought. Oh, some people have such good styles. Look, Alexander Prime is so shiny. Oh, you look great. Is he meant to be the alternate reality version of Lex, or is it someone else? I don't
Well,
know.
he looks like he has the cyborg Superman face, so I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even see
Although,
that. I'll
in
look at that.
yeah, there was an alternate reality where Lex was Shazam.
Alexander.
Although not Shazam, it was the reverse of Shazam, like Zamas or something like that. Ah, freaking.
The gods
What was that for?
I just remembered
Nothing
what
happened.
I just remember what mission this is.
Oh, one that makes you very happy, we can see.
Well, it reminds me why I had no memory of those missions. I didn't play them very much. I played them when they were first released. I played them when they were first released, and I never really played them afterwards.
Yeah. I obviously didn't play them when they were first released because I wasn't playing back then, but I played them on my Switch for a while. I quite like them. I will say it would be better if I was a little less tired right now, but you know, it's fine. And I do like the puzzle ones. I just, you know, I would normally look it up and make sure I know what I'm doing, and I didn't. So that's on me. At least it wasn't like the card one where I've literally never done it before until I played with you, so that was fun. There we go.
The problem with puzzles is that it makes it very challenging when you play with random players. If you have an organized group, if you have an organized group of people who know what they're doing, then yeah, it's not an issue. But if you're not,
Yeah.
it can become and even sometimes even when you know what to do, sometimes it just takes one person who doesn't know what to do and who doesn't listen, and that's enough to mess the whole thing for everyone.
Well, sometimes it's not even a person who doesn't know, it's someone who does know and just likes trolling.
Oh, there's that too. There's that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, sadly, trolling and griefing is a professional sport in DCUO. Sadly, there's a lot of people who seem to enjoy that kind of stuff. I remember way back when they had you weren't there, I guess, at the time. When we first started playing, one thing that happened a lot was people blocking doors in the police station or the safe houses. So they would trap you, let's say, in the corridor, so that you couldn't go anywhere. So they had to make the doors bigger because of that. So they had to waste basically resources just to prevent people from griefing. And sadly, they have from now on they pretty much have to take that into account whenever they create new content. They have to take into account that sadly at every chance there are people who will grief other players. So when they design the content, when they design something that could be griefable, they probably shouldn't do that. But
I think
once in a
I've seen
while,
some gameplay when the doors used to get blocked as well. Was there teleporting back then, or did they have to add that in as well?
the warp was very limited at the time, so you could warp maybe once to what's it called? The respawn point. The name escapes me right now.
Rally point.
The rally point. But then you were stuck not being able to use it for a while. So, but you would rally inside the police station. So the doors were still blocked anyway. So because it wasn't just one person blocking, there was two, three, four person that were blocking pretty much all the doors. So they would trap you in there, and
Have nothing better to do than do that to other
they
people.
they didn't have anything better to do.
They need more in their life.
They do, but they it seems they don't have any anymore because that's what they were doing.
Yeah, that's a little sad.
So there were a few tricks to be able to get through that. Like if you had the Green Lantern has like a big anvil that you can throw around, so you could use that to move the players and pass through. But if you didn't have something like that in your power set, you were pretty much stuck there. There's some trinkets also you could use to move the characters out of the way. But again, if you didn't have one of those, you were pretty much stuck there.
That sounds
So
horrible.
So they had to make the doors bigger. And even then, later on, what they would do is that they would summon a whole bunch of pets and then stand at the doorway. So it was them and a dozen pets blocking the door. So even if the door was
Well, to
bigger,
hear from someone who actually used to do this and explain why, actually, we should just talk with Johnny. Johnny would do that, right?
oh yeah, Johnny, I'm sure was a big. I'm sure he was an Olympic medalist in the griefing Olympics.
Yeah. I don't get it personally. I feel like I would be wasting my time. Why do people use their time to do that? I don't get it.
I guess they had nothing better to do. Maybe they were done playing the content and they had nothing better to do until the next day, so that's what they did. I don't know.
That's just a little sad, guys. Just a little sad.
It is very sad.
Yeah.
But it was more than just the doors. There are some missions, like when you had to fight certain bounties. If you were, let's say, a hero fighting a villain bounty, well, sometimes you would have villain players who would heal the bounty. So they were pretty much trying to prevent you from defeating the bounty.
That's hilarious, actually. I don't mind that one. That's kind of funny.
Well, that was a bit on purpose in the sense that it was part, I guess, of the sort of PvP aspect of the game. Oh, someone went down.
I got him. Yep.
But it became annoying real quick still. But that's pretty much.
Interesting novelty, but I can see how it would get annoying pretty fast.
But that's pretty much when I started playing on the PvP open world because I figured, well, if someone's going to do that, I want to be able to beat the snot out of them if they try to do that. So I started playing on the PvP open world to try to be able to jump on people because the problem also is in the PvE open world, there's nothing you can do about it. Like if someone decides to grief you, you're stuck.
They could hop on a PvE. When you said it, I expected that to be in PvP.
No, they would do that. No. You have to never underestimate the. What's the reverse of bravery?
I have no idea.
Anyway, a lot of players are not brave at all. So they would do that in the PvE open world, knowing that you cannot do anything about it. But yeah, that list would be good. But in the PvE, that's pretty much when I switched to play on the PvP open world. And if somebody would try to mess up with you like that, you would just beat the snot out of them. Unless, of course, they were better equipped than you were in PvP gear. But even then, at least you could do something about it. But somehow it didn't happen as much on the PvP open world, or it happened. Like in the open world, in the PvP open world, what people would do to grief other players is that they would grief other players, but they would grief level 4 players. If they thought for 1/2 a second that you might be the snot out of them, they didn't try to grief you.
I think it's kind of sad as well. People who just what is it called? Spawn camping. Where they just kind of sit and wait for people to spawn or wait for noobs and kick their ass because they can.
Yes.
What kind of a life do you have to have in order to be, feeling good about doing something like that? I feel bad for the person doing it and bad for the person receiving it because it seems like they must be really, really bored or have really nothing to do.
They must.
Yeah. But then I hear Johnny and he just thinks it's hilarious, so, different people think different ways, I guess.
Well, it's hilarious for 33 seconds. The problem is that they don't stop. They keep on doing it and doing it.
Yeah. I don't get it, but that's fine. Oh, I'm down. I got too close to the edge.
Oh no, you fell in the hole.
I fell in the hole.
Those went with you, it seems.
What? Someone went with me. Don't come with me.
Too late.
Bad decision, guys. Bad decision.
Oh, Jeb Bear has...
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Jeb Bear has a 2-part question. Oh, where am I? So, 2-part questions. Do you support cross-faction league? And do you think it could make sense to combine NA servers and EU servers? Yeah, I don't mind the cross-faction league. Cross-faction lead would be fine. I don't know if it's going to fix the issues as well as they think it will, but it's going to be a big help, I guess, for servers that have a lower population. Like if you don't have a lot of players on your server, then yeah, cross-faction will be much needed. For NA and EU, yeah, if they could merge all of the, ideally, if they could merge all the servers, that would probably be the best option. We know it's not an option, it's not really possible, but yeah, if they could at least merge NA and EU, then yeah, probably be a good start. But in an ideal world, they would merge everything. We would have, let's say, one server and everyone on the same server. Although it might cause some what they call it, rubber banding issues. I don't know. That girl from Australia could tell us, like when you play on the US server, do you have any issues, bandwidth issues or lag issues, or?
Yeah, I do. But by that same token, I'm pretty sure all of the servers are currently in the same location anyway. So, including, as far as I know, the EU server is still actually physically located in the US. Correct me if I'm wrong about that. But I can honestly say that I get booted about equally on every server these days. I did used to get booted a lot more on Switch and Xbox then on here, and then it kind of swapped over when the new client came out for PS5. People were getting booted from the PS5 client way more than they were getting booted from everywhere else, but now they seem about even to me. So, I don't know. It seems about the same, but that's subject to change sometimes, I do believe. Lag issues are definitely different on different consoles, though. Switch has greatly improved in lag, but it's still worse than everywhere else. And the lag on here is still pretty annoying when you're in your menu, so I don't know.
I think that the EU servers are in Europe, but I could be mistaken.
Oh, I hope you're right, because as far as I knew, I thought they were all in the US, but I hope it is in Europe. But honestly, I haven't noticed an actual difference in me getting booted or lag or anything between US and EU server, and I play both, so...
I could have sworn there was a studio in EU that was managing DC Universe Online over there. Which is why also there's for the, let's say, the marketplace, depending on where you purchase items, it's going to be different distributors that will benefit from that. So I could have sworn there was there was someone in the EU taking care of the EU servers, but I could be mistaken.
Oh, so could I. I'm not 100% sure on that. But I can say I can't tell a difference between the two servers where lag is concerned. They're both the same for me from Australia. Which is neither the US nor the EU.
Scroll says the evil YouTube did not notify me. Yeah, they don't. That's why we do it at Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Friday, so that even if the evil YouTube doesn't notify you, you should know that we'll be here anyway. So that's why I try to have regular hours. Like at some point, I was using 7 p.m. for to give out certain codes, so that people will know that even if YouTube didn't notify them, we'd be there at that time.
Yeah, I must admit, I don't get all your notifications for your videos and your live. I usually get your live notification like a day or two later, with the exception of last week, when I got it as soon as we finished it.
Yeah, sometimes YouTube even send me the notification like a week later.
Yeah. Oh, I'm getting so claustrophobic in this place. We keep getting trapped in little spots, and it's making me uncomfortable. I feel okay now though. We're in an open area.
Some beach I used to wear early tier gear visually for the campers and bullies in the game to surprise them when they tried to jump me. Oh yeah, I did that when I was playing my Magneto first class. I didn't do that so much for bullies, but I came to quickly realize that my character pretty much looked like he just came off the Brainiac ship. I was using basically the slimline chest piece, slimline pants, and the Knight headpiece to recreate the Magneto. So I looked like I was fresh off the Brainiac ship. So very often in the PvP open world, people would try to jump me, and I would beat the snot out of them. So that was very, very satisfying. Sometimes I would hang out in zones where level 4 players would play, and then when the bullies would jump me, I would teach them a lesson. So that was that was very satisfying.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. Could you inspect back then? Like, could you have a look at what gear people had?
Yeah, you could, but if you see someone wearing slimlines, way back when, you would assume they just came off the Brainiac ship. So
I can just imagine them like getting attacked by you and being like, "What the hell?" and then inspecting your character and being like, "Oh yeah, I see the mistake I made there."
well, I guess those that were really not brave at all, yeah, maybe they were inspecting first, but very often it happened, like because they see you wearing basically gear from the character creation, and they see you in a low level zone. So yeah, it was a no brainer, I guess, for them to think, oh yeah, here's a level 4, let's beat the snot out of him, and it didn't work so well for them.
I love the way you say beat the snot out of people. I get this mental picture of a person standing there and snot flying out of their nose when you punch them in the face.
That's what it's there for. Wisnick is saying, combine all, could imagine the backlash of just names of tunes. Yeah, obviously they would have to do a name reclaim if they did that. And yeah, some people would probably not be happy, but they would probably come up with a system like the last time. Basically, whoever logged in would get the name. Whoever logged in first would get the name, and then other people would have to find a new name. Oh, before I forget, Shay G is asking, should I start playing DCUO? Absolutely. You can play this Universe Online for free, so there's absolutely nothing stopping you from trying it out for free, and you'll see, you'll know soon enough if you like it or not. Like in my case, after the first day, I knew I loved it. After a couple of days, I played like 2 days as a free-to-play player, 2 or 3 days, then I became premium, and then after a month, I became legendary. So you'll know soon enough. If you just try it out, you'll know. And you can try it out completely for free. So don't spend a dime until you know, but you'll know.
I mean, you'll know when you like play the movement, whatever movement you choose, it's going to be so much better than a lot of other games. And then you'll never stop. You'll get addicted.
Well, just the look of the character also, like the way the character look when he's running with an acrobat, like holy crap, that you don't see that in other games. Like when he runs, you can tell there's a lot of weight to the character. It's a powerful run, I would say, as opposed to in many other games, like the character is barely moving forward. It kind of floats. The whole body is not moving with the run the way it does with DCUO. So yeah.
And your character is so massively customizable compared to other games.
That too.
You've got a style, you can still wear it without having to wear that specific armor piece, which is lovely. You can make your character look however you want them to look. It's great. I love that about this game too.
Like we have Marvel Rivals where the characters look great, but you are pretty limited in how your character can look. Like you're limited to the handful of skins that the character has.
Somebody is down! Oh, 2 people are down. Oh, people have got him. Okay, we're good.
So try not to get into the... That's okay. Try not to get caught into the sort of electric whirlwind or something like that.
Yeah.
That'll hurt you quite a bit.
I like that on here you can make an iconic character that everyone can recognize, whether it's from DC or not, because you can make ones that aren't from DC quite easily, as I've proven, and so have you. And or you can make like a fantasy, like I'm a freaking purple dragon right now. You can make whatever you like, and it's awesome. I love it. Oh, I missed one of you. I'm so sorry. Hey, Yummy Growth here.
That's okay. We'll probably have to start again. So guys, you have to avoid the lightning thingy. You have to avoid those. Those hurt a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, the cage. Oh.
I don't like it. Okay, we're good. I'm out. Everything is fine. Actually, that's a little less claustrophobic feeling than when, like, we're stuck in a hallway and my camera is so close to my character that I can't see, like, where I'm going or what I'm doing. That's the one that makes me feel really trapped. The camera being nice and far away from the cage feels fine, if I'm being honest. Oh, people are down!
Yeah. That's okay.
I don't
We'll.
think we're going to make it through this one with this many people down. I'm caged. I am caged again. We're
I
down.
think.
I can't get out. I'm down.
I think we're
Everybody
we're done like dinner.
is down. Well,
I guess
that's
we
the tank.
don't.
So I didn't want to switch to tank, but if need be, I can.
Yeah, you'll probably have to. We don't have a healer either. Let's see if we can ask.
Yeah. Yeah, we need a healer. That's true. I don't. Is anyone a healer in here? I'll tank and take some more damage for us, but yeah, I don't know if that's going to be 100% helpful.
I guess not. Let's try again.
Alright. It's gonna be fine.
So try to avoid the. Oh. So so try to avoid the electric thingy, guys.
Yeah. My damage output is basically down to nil now, guys, so be aware.
Oh, we lost the tank, or oh no, okay, there it is.
No, we should have 3 of us now. Yeah, we've got 3 of us now.
Yeah, that'll sort of make up for not having a healer a bit, I guess.
I hope so. I don't know.
Well, if you can heal yourself a bit.
I can. But I survived that whole ordeal until the very end without a knockout anyway with my fire, so as a damage. But now that I'm taking more damage, it should be... I should survive, at the very least. Let's just hope.
You should be invincible.
God mode, as you say.
That too. Or cheater mode. It's all, it's the same.
Hey, it's not cheating if they literally put that into the game.
It's still cheating.
It's not cheating, I'm helping the group, I'm not even PvPing at the moment.
It's not because they allow it that it's not cheating. Like they allow artifact swapping, and everyone knows that it's cheesy. And at the very least, it's cheesy, if not an exploit.
See, a lot of people are really aggro about the artifact swapping. I'm not fussed. I figure if someone on my team can artifact swap, I speak English, then that's good for my team, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, it's just it's weird because it's obviously an exploit. The fact that the devs seems to be okay or seemed to be okay at some point with that doesn't change that it's an exploit.
Yeah, I agree, but I'm also not fussed about it. It doesn't negatively impact me. Does it negatively impact in PvP?
Absolutely.
Because that would be the only area I can see that it would be a problem, and PvP is basically dead on here.
Well, imagine for the 3 people still playing PvP, must be
Oh, there's 3 people. They're
must be
probably all
sad if
anyway, so they can
mu-
go artifact swap.
must be sad if one of them art swap. Sorry guys, I'm not looking at the chat right now. So guys, try to avoid the electric thingy.
Yeah,
Well,
I
like
also have
that.
not been looking at the chat during this, guys, which is probably obvious. I also have no idea where it's up to, because Multi's able to do his own chat now that he's got his TV set up, so yeah, I won't know. Oh, it just chased me around. I'm tanking this time, and I did worse than last time. That's terrible. I'm down!
I'll never forgive you.
Aww! Why not? I'll forgive you for stuff that you do! At some point, maybe. It depends what it is.
Why am I stuck here?
I'm so sorry. I was trying to be helpful, and I ended up being more of a hindrance than helpful. Oh, actually, since I'm stuck outside, I can look at the chat. But I honestly don't know what you were up to, though.
I lost track anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, you definitely answered the 2-part question. Scrolls said evil YouTube didn't notify me. I think that's around about where we were up to. Tier Gear Sam said, oh, that's Outlander. Hi, Outlander! Okay. Wizlink said combine all, could imagine to backlash of just names of tunes. I'm not sure what that means. Is that the combining all of the heroes and villains together?
Yeah, all the servers. When we were talking about combining all the servers together.
So, Outlander, Amanda says that I would hate that because I would lose several toons. I don't know if I would lose them. If they combine the EU and the US server together, like my accounts are separate. So for on the Switch and for on Xbox and for PlayStation, those are separate accounts. So it wouldn't affect me in that way. All of my characters across different consoles would be fine. On here, though, I have a single account where I play both on US and EU. Both of those accounts have less than 32 characters altogether, which means if they did merge, potentially I could keep all my characters and just buy the slots. But I don't know how that would work if they ever do it. I could potentially lose characters, but I'm not too fussed about it. I'm not really that concerned. If it happens, and I'll just play my characters from whichever server I have. So, that's fine. But, yeah, I don't think they're going to. At least they are not going to put Xbox and Switch together with PlayStation PC. The only one I think is potentially going to happen is EU merging with US. Which is where the problem lies, I guess. And yeah, then I would wonder, do I get to keep the characters from the server that is like the home server for my account technically, which means all my EU characters would be the ones I keep, and none of the ones on here would be the ones I keep. But the ones that I have on EU would just be here now, and I think I'd be okay with that. I would be a little annoyed if they didn't try to make it so that I could keep them all and just merge them all together, since I do have enough to fit the amount of slots that we can get to maximum. So I would kind of hope that would be the case, because I've put money into these characters and time, and I love them. But whatever happens, happens. Not gonna let it faze me.
Well,
do you think they're gonna merge EU and US?
No, I don't think so.
Neither do I.
I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
Yeah, we both could be wrong. I don't think so either, though. So
it's like crossplay. People have been asking for crossplay for a long time. I don't think it's gonna happen because sadly, for crossplay, they have to play. They have to pay PlayStation a certain amount just and they have to pay them for crossplay. But then whenever they make a new update or they add a new patch or something, then they have to pay extra for that. So I strongly doubt they'll want to pay anything for that.
Yeah. All right, gotta watch for the lightning again. The lightning literally was following my character as I'm moving away from it.
Well, yeah, it's going around in circle.
Yeah.
You have to remember the timing. Terrible impression.
There we go. Alright. I'm not reading the chat anymore because I'm trying to pay attention to not dying, Important things. Oh, by the way, don't get up, whoever I just picked up. Don't get up yet, you're surrounded by lightning. Don't get up.
Yeah, if you get knocked out in lightning and someone raises you, don't get up just yet.
Yeah. Don't get up. Okay, now you can. You can get up now. There you go. Oh, that's fun. I find it really annoying when you're in a situation like that where you're being knocked out and the screen goes grey to the point that you can't see the abilities of the enemy, so you're actually not sure if you're still in or if you're out of whatever the attack was against you. So I find that really annoying. I don't think that's the case in this one. I think you can still see the lightning because it would come up quite light and white, but otherwise, I would not like that. Also, it looks like the lightning isn't going to enter the center of the circle. I don't know if that's helpful for anybody, but... Oh, am I the only one up? Pick up! Pick up! There's 2 of us left! Everybody up!
Awesome. Oh.
I think everyone got picked up. I didn't pick up a single one, though. Everyone else was faster than me with the pickups.
Okay. Well, one issue also is that on certain consoles, like maybe on PlayStation 4, sometimes they don't see the visual effects. Because I remember way back when on PlayStation 3 at some point we weren't seeing the visual effects. And then at some point on PlayStation 4, I started having some of the issues we had on PlayStation 3. It was almost like playing on PlayStation 3 at some point, where there's some animation effects that we were just not seeing.
Yeah, I can speak to the Switch having a lot less general effects, because like every time there's an event, like you go out into Gotham, for example, for like Season's Greetings that just passed, they specifically have not put in any of the decorations on the poles for the lanterns and things like that, so that it's going to have less that it has to render. And I wonder if maybe some of the attacks on the Switch compared to other places might be less obvious because they have to render less in order for it to run, I can't say smoothly, but smoother than it would if it had to render them. I can't say for specifically what things it might do that for. That's me just speculating based on other things I've seen. But I do wonder if perhaps that's the case. And I will say on Switch is where I have noticed more often that when the screen goes gray when my character is knocked out, I cannot see what I am meant to be doing. I can't see their ability. So I don't know if that's because of that or not.
Oh, there might be some of that, obviously.
Yeah. It's really not a game that should be running on the Switch. I hope, but I'm not really hopeful. I would like it if they would, if Nintendo would bring out a more hardcore console that can actually handle the game. But I mean, they're not really going to make a change like that based off of one or two things, one or two games that are having issue, I don't think. And they make way more money by having multiple portable consoles than they do having one large console, because generally a household will purchase one large console for a family, but the portable ones, they will purchase one per person. So they're rolling in it with that particular strategy. So I don't think I'm going to see a console that can handle this game from Nintendo anytime soon. And that makes me sad, because my absolute best built character is on the Switch! Oh, someone down. Someone down. Oh, you got him.
I got it. Don't get up here just yet, though.
Yeah, wait for the lightning to go away. We're getting there. We're doing better.
Almost there. Stay on target.
We needed 4 tanks. 4 tanks for that.
Oh, that's fine. Whatever works. I wasn't able to. I wasn't able to bring her back.
Oh, sorry. I tried to pick up before and kept getting knocked, but I am tanking, so it's kind of to be expected.
I'd like to go pick up Nubia, but I can't.
Yeah.
Nubia.
She's too close to the lightning. Oh, now she's being knocked around. I don't know.
Yeah, she moved around somehow. Even she was though she was knocked out.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a reason for that. I couldn't explain what that is though.
We're so close. Nobody screw up. That's mainly for me. Lauren, don't screw up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the last time I played any of this content was on the Switch. That's at least a year and a half ago now, I think. A year and a half? That's a long time, multi.
Goes by so quick.
It does. So I hear you're planning to perhaps do PvP? I saw in one of your videos I watched last.
Yeah, I'm toying like I'm toying with making a PvP event. I don't know if it should be once a month might not be enough. Once a week might be too much. Maybe I don't know. I guess Thursday could become Checkmate Day in DCUO Online, and we could probably get together a whole bunch of people, make groups, and play PvP against each other. And it wouldn't have to be. At first, I thought maybe like I make a group, you make a group, and we face each other. But actually, there's no reason why there should be a limit of the group. If we can make 2, 3, 5 different groups, why not?
Yeah, fair.
So basically, what we could announce is that we'll let's say we'll play PvP on Thursday at whatever time, and then anyone could show up and we would play PvP. It would pretty much signal to people that that night there's going to be people playing PvP. If you want to come and play PvP, do so. If you want to put a group together, you can do that too. And then we would play a whole bunch of PvP together.
That sounds great. Am I included in this? You said me.
If you want to.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if anyone's going to want to be in my group because PvP is something I am very ignorant in and don't have any gear for and have never done.
Ah, they'll be in your
We
group.
can call ourselves the suckers and we will suck.
Even if Johnny's in the group, they'll be in your group.
Oh yeah, if Johnny's in my group, of course they're going to be in my group. Because Johnny's there. That sounds like fun, honestly.
So yeah, so I'm thinking, yeah, maybe next Thursday we could try it out. I'll probably put an announcement tomorrow for that.
That sounds like fun. I also now am slightly nervous if I try because, never done before.
Well, it could almost sort of replace what used to be Friday Night Legends.
Yeah. That was something you ran on your channel, right? It's something you called it was Friday Night Legends.
No, it was the devs way back when Jens Anderson was still the creative director. What they would do is that they would gather. There would be him, Maps, and I forget who else, and they basically would have people play PvP against each other. Uh,
Cool.
so and it was during a live stream. So they would have a live stream. They would call it Friday Night Legends, and they would fight.
Oh, so that's why it's not familiar to me because it wasn't even you. Mind you, I only became recently aware of you, so I don't know what was up with that, but I feel like the system is rigged.
It was a fun bit at the time. Spittle and Maps together in the live stream, they were pretty much a fun duo. Although you have to wonder sometimes if because Spittle was a bit uh, it was making jokes sometimes at Maps' expense, and you have to wonder did Maps really like the jokes or not? Like, did he really like the jokes, or did he just not say anything because it was his boss? We'll never know.
Yeah, it's a very, very Australian thing to do is to make jokes at other people's expense. I will say, if you come across an Australian and they're making fun of you, that usually means they like you. Like, if they're taking the mickey or making jokes, it's a compliment, really, from an Australian, because we can take a joke, and so we muck around with our friends like that. If they're being very serious, that usually means they don't like you. So, I don't know if that's helpful to anybody, because you probably don't interact with a whole bunch of Australians, but we tend to do that. We take the mickey out of the people we like.
So I guess we'll start with the Atlanteans, and we are in phase. Well, there's only 3 phases, so we're in phase 2 right now. So if you guys want to come and join us in the PvE open world, we're going to run the bounties. I don't know, 2, 3, 5 times. I have no idea. We'll play it by ear, I guess.
Sweet.
So, and even if you are an evil villain, you can still join us. Doesn't matter. We're not going to be in the same group, but we can still fight the same bounties if we want to.
I keep trying to go through the teleporter and it keeps transporting me back to the beginning of HLZ, I was going to say. HOL. HLZ is actually from when I used to work at Macca's. It's called a heated landing zone. That's where you slide the burger up to. We used to call that the HLZ because you slid the burger into it. Anyway. It's nothing like the House of Legends. I don't know why my brain went there. My brain is tired. She hasn't been sleeping.
So we're already done with Merc, so we're going to move on to Ares.
I think I've got all these. I do indeed have all these bounties.
Well, there are feats also for defeating X amount of time, unless you already have those feats.
Oh, no, I don't. No, I'm more than happy to run them if I've already done them. I was just happy to see I'd actually got it done. It's not because of me. I was playing with my friend and he was like, we should do that. And I was like, oh, okay, that sounds good. And then, it got done. I often get stuff done because of other people and not because of me at all.
So let's go back a little bit. Okay, so we had Shay who said, should I start playing DCUO? Absolutely. Again, as we mentioned, the game is free, so there's nothing stopping you from trying it out. Yeah, that's part of the. That's why they're going to do the whole hero villain league, so that because on the villain side, sadly, there's not enough people on certain consoles on certain servers. So
Yeah.
yeah, you pretty much need you need more people for them. We had a similar issues way back when on PC. Like on PC, sometimes there was as much as three villains on the entire server.
That's
So
shocking.
so when they did merge the PC with the PlayStation, that was a big help for villains on PC. Scrolls is saying he's an hour behind. Someday maybe they'll get rid of the daylight saving time. Well, we're gonna have to wait and
Daylight
see.
saving time I find more annoying than anything else.
Yeah, it is a bit annoying. Sub-Zero greetings from the Green Lantern Corps. Greetings,
Oh,
Sub-Zero.
Sub-Zero! Sub-Zero, you're the person who had a channel last time. I tried to find your channel, I couldn't find it. Can you add it in the chat so I can find it? Because I looked everywhere for you and I couldn't find you at all. Ah!
Shay's
What were
asking.
you doing to it? I was doing it for like an hour while we were talking.
Shay's asking, will I get jumped? No, if you play in the PvE open world, no one can jump you. And even in the PvP open world, right now, there's like at most there's like three people that play in the PvP open world. Very often there's no one in the PvP open world. Sadly, they did make some changes to the PvP open world at some point, and that pretty much killed the PvP open world. No one is going to that server anymore. Scroll says PvP is my favorite place to be. Well, it is pretty quiet nowadays. If you want a server where you're by yourself, then yeah, the PvP one is a good place to be.
Yeah, I've got to say, it's more like a peaceful area than anything else at this stage.
Sam Beach is saying been playing since 2011, and my biggest regret is not getting the original $200 lifetime membership. Yeah, it would have been a good deal. Sadly, not everyone were able to get it at the time. Oh,
Woo! I got a feat.
so Iris is defeated. So let's move on to Ekate.
Sweet.
Sub-Zero, I can't stand this raid mission because every time I run it, only 3 out of 8 players know what to do. Yeah, it's a mission that's a bit annoying.
I'd be one of the people who didn't know what to do. But I'm also like highly suggestible. If someone says to me, we're trying to do this, I will make sure that I try to accommodate whoever says they're trying to do something every time. So
See, Sub-Zero is
it's not be that much of a hindrance.
Sub-Zero is trying to help us. Get inside the circle.
Ah, see, he knows what he's talking about.
Lazarus, I lost 50 pound. I'm not sure what we're talking about.
Congratulations, I'm gonna go with. Because that sounds like a good thing. Unless it's dollars.
Shay is asking this crossplay with other console. There's only PlayStation and PC that are on the same server. Xbox have their own server, and Switch have their own server.
Yeah. And I am on all of them.
Sub-Zero says I'm DPS to the core. Being a healer is too much pressure. I wouldn't say that. You get used to it.
No, I quite like healing. I don't mind it. The only one I don't know how to do well is control, honestly. Which is fine, because Multi's here, so I don't need to.
Oh no, White King says we're cooked. Nah, we weren't cooked. We did it.
We were cooked a couple of times before we did it, though. We had 4 tanks to complete that. That's shocking.
That's okay. Seeing how we didn't have healers, we needed people who could last longer.
Now, Lazarus says being a healer is a lot of pressure because you have to watch all your teammates' health. It's true that you do, but at the same time, there's a lot of group heals. So you can kind of maintain it.
At some point you don't think about it anymore. It becomes a reflex. You can use I know that there are people who have what is known as tunnel vision. They only see what's in front of them. But if you pull back just a little bit, you can use your peripheral vision and see your whole screen. That's the best I can explain it. So even without like even as a controller, when you give power to the group, well, you have to see if their power bar is full or empty. And so you can see that without even looking at the actual players. You can just look with your peripheral vision. You see the power bar of everyone, and also you see the health of everyone. So as a controller, it also gives you a cue, like when sometimes you have to use your supply drop to maybe sometimes heal someone who's really running low on health. Maybe the healer also is held or paralyzed or something. So sometimes you have to act a bit as a healer even when you're controlling. But at the end of the day, you have to have many eyes, almost like a beholder. Yeah, you need one eye on the player's health. You need one eye on the minimap to see where everyone is located, and you need to take a look at the battlefield to really see where people are, because sometimes on the minimap you don't get all the details. And another thing also is that sometimes there are abilities that use line of sight. So you have to make sure that there's nothing between you. Like let's say I'm trying to give power to someone and I use my power dump. Well, if there's a wall between me and whoever I try to give power to, it's not gonna happen. So sometimes you have to keep a line of sight, which is why sometimes with healers or with controllers, a good thing to have is flying, so that you can fly above obstacles and make sure that you give a power or that you heal everyone. Although there are some maps where you get, let's say, punished by certain mechanics if you are flying, so you have to be a bit careful for that. But at some point it becomes a reflex. I didn't quite realize that until at some point I had a bunch of friends who started playing, and that's when I realized that I was seeing everything. I was seeing everyone's health bar. I was seeing everyone's power bar. I was seeing the minimap. I was seeing where everyone was located, and I basically I was playing the whole group by myself. I was telling my fellows, okay, cast your big heal. I was telling my other friends, okay, cast disability. I was pretty much playing all four characters. Because that's where I realized that holy crap, I see everything, and you get used to that.
You would be if you had like a chip in your brain and could just control all the characters yourself.
Well, I had to tell my friends what to do, but so it becomes a force of habit. Yeah, at first I understand that it's a bit challenging. You're not used to it, so you have to get used to the gameplay. Then you have to get used to your power. Once you get used to your power, using your healing will pretty much become a reflex, and you'll know when to use your group heal, your solo heal, your so it literally becomes just a reflex after a while, and you don't even have to think about it.
Yeah, I could say the same. When I
But
play it's like that. Also,
uh,
having your camera pulled far back helps a
obviously
lot.
obviously it does take some time. You're not going to do that within a few days or maybe within a week. But if you've been healing for a month, 2 months, 6 months, at some point it all becomes pretty much a reflex, and you don't even think about it anymore. It just happens. So give yourself a chance. Give yourself the chance to learn how to heal and how to play the game, and you'll get there. We played the regular version. Without a healer, I kind of doubt we would have been able to go through the elite version.
Yeah. I've noticed some people who create healers and tanks for that matter. I haven't really noticed it with controllers though. Oh, Sludge has an interesting question, but that people tend to like battle build, so they'll build a healer that's a battle healer because they want to also do damage output. Same for tanking. I
Yeah.
have a battle tank build, but if you're going to go full tank or full healer, really need to have everything going towards that for it to run smooth. Otherwise, it just becomes frustrating, and doing damage output isn't as important as the role that you're supposed to be playing, especially when you're playing elite. So, yeah. What did Sludge say? Can
You,
you heal?
it's
Will you
broken
be able
heart.
to heal my broken heart? Duct tape.
For battle healers and battle trolls, personally, I'm against that because I'm still waiting to see a battle healer is a good healer. Usually, with a battle healer, you end up with a weak DPS that barely heals anything,
Yeah.
and the
Doesn't
same
do
with
anything justice.
battle trolls. So
Yeah.
I'm not too crazy about those.
Same. I'm not really too crazy about it for a tank either, unless I'm playing like a duo or something, maybe an alert where it's not really a big deal that I'm tanking, and it's just that little bit of extra. But most of the time, I like a full tank to be a full tank. So I
But
will say battle tanks are a little bit better than having a battle healer or battle troll
but
because they
I
can.
would say oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say they can kind of do both better than a healer can do both or a controller can do both.
Well, I would say at first, just play a full healer and put everything you have towards healing and your loadout. Like I've seen all the healers somehow because yeah, everyone wants to play DPS. One of the reasons for that is quite simple. The game pretty much starts everyone as DPS until level 10. And even then, at level 10, you're going to play pretty much by yourself until level 30. So you're not going to heal. You're going to stand DPS until level 30. So pretty much your first 30 levels, you pretty much play as a DPS. And sadly, after that, a lot of people are stuck in DPS mode, and they don't want to change into a healer mode or a controller mode, or maybe they're just a bit they don't know how to do it, or they're afraid they're not going to be able to do it. But either way, uh, early on when you play as a healer, I would say go full healer, and also in your loadout, don't have just one healing ability. Like my friends, that's one of the things that would drive me crazy with some of my friends. Like they would have one healing ability in their loadout, and everything else they would try to do damage with it. So whenever I would tell them, so whenever I would tell them, cast a heal. Well, they would cast a heal, but then when we didn't needed a second heal, their heal was in cooldown, so they couldn't use it again. So by the time they could cast it, I was too late. Half the group was gone. And I would try to explain to them that they needed more than one healing ability, but they didn't make the distinction between like a single player heal or a heal that would heal two players or four players or a heal that healed the whole group. To them, a heal is a heal. So they thought I have a healing ability, that should be enough, but it obviously wasn't enough.
What kind of friends do you have, Multi?
Well, they were not the best DCO player, but even then, even though my players were not the best, it was still so much easier to play DCO with people you actually know and people you can communicate with. Even
Yeah.
PvP, they were terrible PvP players, but just the fact that we could communicate between us, that alone made a huge difference. And more often than not, we would if we fought a group that was like the same league or an organized group, then yeah, we didn't have the edge. But if we bought when we fought us versus a random group, we pretty much had the edge
Yeah.
despite not being a great player. So being with friends or being with league mates or people you're used to playing with makes a huge difference in many instances.
Having a group that's willing to communicate with each other is really helpful too, even if you don't know each other. A group that communicates versus a group that can't, usually the communicators will win, even if they're poor players compared to the others.
Yeah, the problem is that way back when you could communicate with other players if you were on PC, there wasn't an issue. The issue was on PlayStation. On PlayStation, somehow you had a lot of players who would listen to rap in the background, or who would eat crunchy chips, or would have the wife doing the dishes and it would hear clink, clang, clang in the background, or even worse, you heard the kids screaming and crying in the background. So sadly, on PC, people were, I guess, more respectful and they didn't make as much noise, let's say, as much
Yeah.
unwanted noise. But on PlayStation, pretty much every group you had to mute one person, two-person, half the group. Very quickly, you learned that you turn off your mic on PlayStation. On PlayStation,
Why would they just have their microphone off but have their audio so they can hear the rest of the group? Just turn it on when they need to say something, have it off the rest of the time.
nah, they didn't do that. That
Oh, that's a little rude. Oh, there we go.
So very quickly playing on PlayStation, you would learn that you don't use a microphone. You just don't. So
I'm,
communicating, Communication on PlayStation became a big issue because most of the time you didn't want to hear what the other people were doing.
Well, when I was playing on Switch, a couple of times people had fallen asleep, and you could hear them snoring.
It happens.
I'm one of those people who can fall asleep playing this game, but usually when I do, I don't have my microphone turned on. So no one's going to hear me snoring.
So I think Aiden has a big question for you.
Yes? Okay. Where is that? Do you want to read it?
How many skill points you have in each of your characters? And how much DCUO cash have you in each of your characters?
Oh,
That's a very
big
personal question.
Don't know that it's that personal, but it's definitely one that I don't know that I can answer off the top of my head. I think my skill points on here, I can at least look up.
No, he's asking for all your characters.
So on here, my skill points are 203, so not very high because I haven't been playing on here very long. I think on Switch I'm near the 500-ish mark. Not 100% sure on that one. Xbox I'm probably a little bit in between, so 300 to 400-ish, I guess. Money? Did you say how much DCUO cash do I have on each character? No idea. I'm not really wealthy in the game like a lot of other players. I think 8 or 9 million on my Switch, maybe 3 or 4 million on Xbox. That's per character, kind of, not just one character. And then on here, 1 or 2 million, because I haven't been playing on here quite as long. Also, I'm buying up on furniture on here, so every time I have cash, it goes straight back into furniture. So, round about that. That's me guessing, though. I don't know 100% for sure, because I can't look them all up right now.
Sub-Zero left us. He says, I'm out of here. Take care. Take care, Sub-Zero. Maybe you'll see the replay someday.
I hope he put his channel, or at least a way that I could link to his channel, because on here I can't tap the icon and go to someone's channel. It'd have to be if it's in the comment section. So I hope he put his information in the chat so that I can find his channel.
Let us hope. If not, there's always next time. Black Chaos says, I have 800 skill points and 8 billion cash. Been playing since beta. Lazarus says, stay in the circle, lightning can't hit you. Yeah. Oh, and the evil chat jumped on me. Aiden Warren, I'm still trying to make it to 1 billion. Been playing for a year, made 100k. You'll get there. Sadly, there's no miracle, Aiden. You have to play the broker. If you don't use the broker, then yeah, you're not going to get a billion. And when you get your first billion, you'll be very proud of yourself.
I wasn't. Was I supposed to be proud? That's like when you told me I needed to celebrate my milestones on my channel, and I was like, do I? Okay, sure.
Yeah. Yes, you do. I understand you may not realize now. But because right now it's fresh, so you know pretty much what you did for the past year. But in 2 years, 5 years, when you want to look back, you're not going to remember when did I get 100 subscribers, 200 subscribers, 500 subscribers. You're not going to remember that. But if you have a video, if you can just look up in your videos and actually see it, then you will be able to remember how it was, and also you will be able to not just remember, but actually see with your own eyes the growth you had during that time. Like, it's very easy to forget. It's very easy to forget how things were before. After a while, you get used to your current situation, and you don't remember how it was 5 years, 10 years ago. But if you do have a video that actually shows you, here, this is the day you reach 100 subscribers, then you'll be able to go back and remember, oh yeah. Like, I still remember when I had only 5 subscribers, and I never thought I'd get more than that. But then obviously I was wrong.
I like the way you're saying, in 5 years you'll look back. Thank you for assuming I'll last 5 years. That's so nice.
Well, I didn't say with DCUO. Maybe in 5 years we'll be covering Strawberry Shortcake Online. I don't know.
Oh, no. Well, I already cover other games on my other channel, but it's a lot less frequent than I post on there, so...
Yeah, it's kind of hard to feeding one channel already is a lot of work. Trying to feed multiple channel, that's even harder.
Well, I feed this one, my my, not this one, this is your channel. I feed my DC channel and my taste testing channel. But then my life is kind of busy otherwise, so trying to get other videos out isn't the easiest, but I'm doing the best I can.
Is it is it your channel you're feeding with your tasting channel?
I'm feeding? What? Say that again.
Is it really your channel you're feeding with your tasting channel?
Yeah.
Are you really feeding your channel or you're feeding someone else?
I have no idea what you mean. Is there a joke here? I don't understand.
Is it your channel or yourself you're feeding?
Oh, both. I feed myself in those videos, and then I feed those videos to my channel.
Yeah.
I'm not wrong. I feel like I'm missing something. Guys, what am I missing? I have no idea what he's talking about.
I think you have a sweet tooth.
Actually, no. I like savory more than I like sweet. I just like taste testing new products. And
Okay.
a lot of the ones I do taste test are sweet because they're easier to find, especially ones that I haven't had before. It's easy to find sweet stuff. But yeah, I prefer savory foods over sweet. Generally.
Tarek is saying, "Hey Multi, I feel the game has seen better days. I hope all isn't lost." Yeah, it has. It has. It's hard to deny at this point. The game has been in decline. If I was to pinpoint a moment, I would say that the game pretty much jumped the shark with the House of Legends and with the clamp. The clamp did hurt the game. I know a lot of people don't like to hear that, but just when we got the clamp, there's I'd guesstimate there's roughly 30% of the audience that disappeared like within 1 week, maybe a couple of weeks. And I remember at the time, our friend Dakman had the same. Like at first, you could have thought it's only multiverse. Like 30% of the multiverse audience disappeared. That doesn't prove anything. But the same happened with Obsidian Chill. The same happened with Dakman. And Dakman is such a good guy that at the time it never even occurred to him that it was the audience that left. He just thought that he wasn't doing a good job or his video were not good enough or something. And basically, he took full responsibility for losing like a third of the audience in a very short time. So sadly, the clamp did hurt the game quite a lot, and a lot of the audience left because of that. And I would say that's pretty much when DCUO jumped. If anything, that's when DCUO jumped the shark. Uh, and if the problem is the clamp, if truly people left because of the clamp, it's going to be hard to get people back because the clamp is still here. So no matter what changes they make, if they don't remove the clamp or change the clamp, well, people who left because of the clamp, they're not going to come back.
No.
So pretty much ever since we've been seeing, pretty much DC Universe Online. I'm going to say diminishing return, but it's the wrong expression. We've been getting less and less since then. We have less and less player as time goes by, but also we have less and less content. That's probably the worst part. Oh, did we lose people? So we're losing. We have less and less content, and we see that with the seasonals, like the Christmas the summer seasonals. We did not even get base items. I know it's a small thing. Like if you don't decorate your lair, yeah, you probably don't care about the base items. But there's a lot of players for whom it's important. And again, whether you like the base items or not, we still didn't get any, and we don't get as many as we used to. We saw that a great example, I guess, when we do get the anniversary event. I'll probably make a video about that. If you look at the anniversary event and you go back, let's say to 2021. 2021 is pretty much where we peaked with the anniversary event. Oh, just a minute. Someone wants to be invited. There we go. So if you look at the anniversary event and if you look at the rewards from the anniversary event, you can pretty much see 2021, 2022, we got less styles, and also the quality of the styles. Like we used to get a full new style for the anniversary event, and then they started giving us a reused style that we already had, or a reused style that was at least they would change the texture of the style. And then afterwards, they would not even do that. So the anniversary event is a great example of how much every year for the anniversary event we got less and less and less and less. And sadly, that's pretty much DC Universe Online in a nutshell. Pretty much since 2021, we've been getting less content, we've been getting less rewards, we've been getting less year after year after year. And every year we hope against hope that because there's always a reason. Like at some point, Jackster left with a whole bunch of devs. At some point, a whole bunch of devs were let go. They had to hire new devs. And when they hired new devs, they had to train those new devs, so they were not able to produce as much content as they should have. So there was always a reason explaining why we would get less and less and less. But sadly, it doesn't change the fact that every year we get less and less from DCUO. And the worst part is that every year it gets more expensive to play DCO. They release more and more styles, booster bundle, time capsule, and more. So the allies was an attempt to try to monetize DCO and really increase the cost of playing DCO. At first, the allies were very expensive. You had to pay $25 per ally per character, as opposed to being able to redeem the ally for every character in your account. So each character you had to pay $25, and even then, and even now that we can redeem the character on every single characters in our account, the legendary alliances, it's still basically dollar per legendary alliances, and you need like 64 of them. So early on, the allies would have been and early on you could only get the legendary alliances from the marketplace. So the allies would have been like $75 at minimum, if not more. If you bought everything from the marketplace, it would have cost. I think Chill did the math and it was like $200. So at first, $200 for one ally for one character. Holy crap, that was expensive. So on one hand, they keep on playing the game more and more expensive for the people who actually pay to play the game, and on the other hand, they give less and less content. So yeah, so we're hoping against hope that with the new devs that will change. Sadly, it doesn't look good so far. They're like
they're leaning more into it. They're making things more monetized, not
yes,
less.
exactly.
Not less new content, not more. Especially with that daily reward change.
So yeah,
Practicing for the newest episode.
yeah, the daily reward change, the mods that you have to purchase from the marketplace, so yeah, they're making it even more expensive, and they're still giving us less and less content. Now, in this case, the argument would be, well, it's a new team of devs, so they have to learn. They have to learn how the game works. They have to maybe fix some of the game behind the scenes. They say fix some of the codes, but it doesn't change the fact that it gets more expensive and we get less content.
And you're saying they're making mistakes that the previous devs have already made as well. I can't remember what specifically you said that was for, but...
Yeah, there's the mods already, like having to change the mods in our gear. Way back when we had the exobyte mods, and people hated that. They hated having to first for the roll. Like let's say you had a chess piece, like here I don't have it. Like let's say you had a chess piece and you would put precision mods in it, but let's say you wanted to have also domination. Is that domination? Dominance. Let's say you wanted to have dominance modes. Well, you had to put it into another piece of gear, and then you have to swap your gear between DPS and whatever you use for dominance.
Yeah.
So people hated that, and it's pretty much the same. Like here we have some new mods. What's the mods again? Like for example, the power efficiency. No, the other one would be good for everyone. Trying to find a good example. Sorry about that.
And how dare you try to find a good example? You apologize for things you don't need to apologize for. That's actually something I'm guilty of too. Never mind.
No, I don't have a good example. But let's say you want to have a DPS set of gear. Well, then yeah, you can use the new mods. But what if you play as a tank? Some of the new mods are really specific to DPS. So you are going to get to have to basically have two sets of gear, one for tank, one for DPS, and for the tank mods and the DPS mods.
I mean, I think I already keep a full set for my tank build anyway with different mods, but I do think it's kind of sucky that the only mods that they really had available at the marketplace, frankly, I don't like them to begin with. I don't think we should have to pay for those because it's now kind of pay to win, but that they're all very DPS heavy.
But anyways,
DPS gets that advantage.
so the point was that way back when we had the exobyte mods that we had to put in our gear, and sadly at some point there are moments in the game where you change gear. Like when we get a new DLC, you will change gear 2, 3, 4 times before you actually get the end game gear. And not to mention also if you get the regular gear and then the elite gear, again that's another set of gear. So odds are people are not going to purchase the regular gear. They're going to wait for the elite gear, and odds are they're not going to put mods in their gear until they have the elite gear. So in some cases they might decide not to play with mods, or they'll play with the lesser mods. But they having to change a mod in your gear, that is something that was very very annoying way back when, and it's still going to be annoying. Basically they're making the same mistake over again. What else? Oh, some people, the chapters. Some people seems to think that the chapters will be kind of like when we had the monthly content. It's going to be smaller content, smaller,
Oh yeah, that's what I think.
smaller episodes, sort of, but we'll get those more often. Well, we had that already before. It was the monthly content. Every month we would get a couple of new missions, which is what people seem to think that's what's going to happen. Like every we're going to get chapters. Every chapters we're going to get 2, maybe 3 new missions, and we're going, instead of having one chapter every 3 months, we'll have maybe one chapter every month. But
Yeah, I'm wondering
again,
if that's what they're gonna do.
again, that is going
Why
back.
they changed it from. Sorry, go.
Yeah, that's why they would change it from episodes to chapter. It could be, but again, that's repeating mistakes that already were made before. The problem is that, and we saw that even in the past year with the new devs. Whenever they add new content to the game, they break the game. It's sad, but that seems to be how DCUO is made. And also, there's the whole spaghetti code thingy. So whenever they add new stuff, they end up breaking some of the stuff, and then they have to spend a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks to fix what they broke. And which means that the game is always, if you release content every month like that, you are going to break the game every month like that, and you are going to spend 2, 3 weeks every month to fix the broken content. So the game is when that happens, when with the monthly content way back when, basically the game was always in a state of being broken and always in a state of needing to be fixed. So it was pretty much a never-ending cycle for the devs to fix and fix and fix the game all the time, which is why they stopped doing the monthly content, because it was exhausting for the devs. At some point they were exhausted; they just couldn't do it anymore. So they said, "Screw that! We're not doing monthly content anymore." But they're repeating. If the chapters are like that, they are going to be repeating the same mistakes that already happened before. Now you would think that, knowing that, they would say, "Oh, it's been tried before. It didn't work. Let's not do that." But sadly, there's often a case where they figure this time with us, it's going to be different. We're smarter and better than the previous people. It's going to be different. I saw that happen in many studios. I saw productions where in season 1 we had a team. In season 2 they hired a new team because whatever reasons the first team didn't work out. And then the team from season 2 thought that the people in season 1 were stupid. They were going to do a much better job than the people from season 1. And then they would look at the work that was done in season 1. They thought, "Oh, we can do much better than that." And then they tried to do better than that. And then they realized why the team did. Like at some point they wanted the location from the first season were very simplified. They were trying to they were trying to have a style that was stylized, but also that wasn't too that didn't have too much details. But then when the second team looked at that, they thought that it sucks. It doesn't have enough detail. So they added a truckload of details to the locations, only to realize that, well, the reason why there wasn't a lot of detail is because we had a very small layout team as well. The layout team very often will create new locations, new angles of existing locations for certain scenes. But we had a very small team. So we could not expect them to create either we could not expect them to create a lot of new locations, or we had to simplify their job by having locations that didn't have too much detail. That was the very specific of why the locations were kept somewhat simple, so that the layout team wouldn't kill themselves, would be able to do the job. But the team for the second season, they didn't know that somehow. So they just looked at the locations, thought they didn't have enough detail, and started adding a million details to the backgrounds. Only to realize at first, well, with the small layout team, they couldn't keep up. They couldn't draw another view of a location that had a billion details. And also, for the second season, we had a brand new layout team that had no experience. So already a layout team that had experience, a small layout team with experience would have struggled. Here it was a disaster. But because the design team thought they were so much better than the previous team and didn't think through what they were doing, they ended up not only repeating the mistakes from the first season, they made entirely new mistakes that were even worse than what was done the first season. And I guarantee you, the new team that we have here, I expect something like that will happen at least a couple of times.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
Now, maybe it'll be the chapter thing. Maybe they'll just repeat exactly the mistakes from the monthly content without
That's
realizing
what I
it.
think is going to happen, to be honest.
But it could be they could make also entirely new mistakes that were not made before. I will see.
If it's a four-part mystery and it's not smaller bites, that means we're going to be waiting throughout the entire year to get the end of the story. That's a long time.
Well, that's another thing. We already had stories that were multiple chapters. Metal Part One, Metal Part Two,
Yeah.
then the one in Sanagar. Like we had 5 parts for the middle storyline. But by the time we reach part four, already by part four, people were getting tired of that storyline, and by part five, people didn't want to play that storyline anymore. People played the bare minimum of part five, disappeared, and we saw them months and months later when we did get some new content. But multi-part storyline, we already did that. If
Yeah.
and there's like I remember some people would complain when we had like a Halls of Power and Halls of Power Part Two, like we had Halls of Power, then we had Amazon Fury, then we had something else, then we had Halls of Power Part Two. Like we didn't have the all the Halls of Power series one after the other, which is a good thing, I believe, because let's say you don't like Halls of Power. Well, if you're stuck with Halls of Power Part 2 and Halls of Power Part 3, it's going to suck a long time for you. But if you do get different storyline, uh, then at least you can hope that the next storyline will be better than the let's say Halls of Power. I'm using Halls of Power as an example, but it wasn't a bad DLC. But if we have a multiple part storyline, and then the first part of storyline sucks, holy crap! It's going to be a long year while we get the rest of the storyline.
Yeah. And frankly, I'm a little. If that's the case, like if it sucks and I have to wait and I'm going to be stuck with that storyline for a long period of time, I'm really deterred from my daily logins because I don't care about the armor sets we're getting. I don't care about the 21-day reward, and then I don't care about the content. That's not going to be good. I don't know that I'd be the only one either. I think a lot of people would probably have that reaction and not log in anymore.
Yeah.
It better be good. Whatever it is, it better be good. It better be enticing.
So, anyways,
Cameron says, I started playing this game just before Christmas and I love it. Was wondering when I get to level 30 and how do I increase my combat power?
it takes roughly 12 hours of gameplay to reach level 30. I have a video about that. I did that a few years ago with a Firestorm character. I spent a whole day live streaming. I think I made 4 or 5 parts, and basically it took me roughly 12 hours to go from the very first mission to level 30.
It
Uh,
doesn't take too
but
long.
sorry.
It doesn't take too long.
Yeah, but assuming like you're brand new, maybe it'll take you a bit longer, but it shouldn't. It won't be that long before you actually reach level 30. So don't worry about it. And basically, just play your missions. As you gain more and more experience, your character will reach level 30, no problem. And then afterwards, what you're gonna have to do after level 30, like from level 1 to level 30, you raise the level of your character, gaining experience. Once you reach past level 30, it becomes it's not level anymore. It's your combat rating. And to increase your combat rating, you have to increase the quality of your gear. But to be able to increase the quality of your gear, you will have to play, let's say, tier 1 missions. Then you will get better gear. And once you get better gear, then you will gain access to tier 2 missions. Then you will get tier 2 level of gear, tier 2 gear. And then and so on until tier 6. Actually, the current DLC is tier 7, I think. So, but
Yeah.
basically, you will have to improve the quality of your gear, and that will raise your combat rating.
You can go to Tempest if you really want to speed it up.
Sure. Yeah, and if you don't know what gear to buy next, yeah, go see Tempus Fuginaut, and it will sell you the best gear you can have at this point.
Yep. Junior says I have 3 characters that are in the 200s, a DPS for solo, and for group I run an atomic tank or a water healer. Oh, atomic tank is my least favorite. Least favorite. Some people play it so well, I don't know. I think Johnny actually helped me work out why I dislike atomic so much. I think it's how it looks and the sound. I don't think it's the actual gameplay of it. I think I just can't stand how it looks and how it sounds. Which is weird.
It happens. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I think it's funny reading through comments, people being like, I have 2 or 3 characters, I have 5 characters. I'm like, yeah, I really shouldn't talk about how many characters I have.
Well,
Although I will say, the ones on my Switch, almost all of them are nearly 400, so that's quite a feat. There's like 30 characters on there.
well, before the clamp, one of the reasons why I had a lot of characters was so that I could play various parts of the content. Like if I wanted to play, let's say, tier 1 missions, and I wanted to be tier 1 level, I had a character for that. I had a couple of characters that were tier 1. I had a couple of characters that were tier 2 if I wanted to play tier 2 missions, and so on. So I had pretty much characters at every tier in order to be able to play that tier at level. So that I wouldn't have a combat rating 200 character playing a level 10 mission.
Yeah, and get through it in 2 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but with the clamp, that pretty much made all of that redundant.
Yeah. I have mixed feelings about the clamp. Oh, David says, doesn't the broker penalize you if you set a bad price for it by making you lose the deposit if an item doesn't sell?
Well, yeah, if you pay 5% broker fees. Could have sworn at some point it was 4%, but apparently it's 5%. So if you ask, let's say, $1 billion for something that's worth $10, and yeah, you're going to pay 5% of $1 billion, and if it doesn't sell, you're going to lose that. So you have to ask a reasonable price. If you ask, you can ask for a lot of money, assuming that the item is actually worth that much.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll see people asking you 400 million for something that's worth 100 million at best.
Yeah.
So
it's funny too because I play across all different servers and consoles. I can see where there's massive discrepancies between items that are selling, and on the US server, you guys sell things at such a high price, so high compared to everywhere else.
well, it's because the economy is different, and people have more money.
It's a reflection of how many people are here.
It's a reflection of how many people and how much money they have. Like if everyone has $5 in their pocket, you cannot sell something $50. No one can buy it. So you have to sell it $1. But if everyone has 5 million in their pockets, you can ask $1,000 for the same thing. Everyone can pay it.
Yeah, that's fair. It's exactly why it works that way. But at the same time, I play the servers basically the same, EU and US, same amount. So I'm going to have way more luck purchasing on the EU than I am going to be purchasing here. Which, doesn't really affect anybody else, just me. Blue Rose Shadow said, Multiverse, how many stat points do you have?
I'm not sure. Let's go find out.
Gotta be high. He's been playing a long time.
Not so much. Oh, I'll get there eventually. I promise.
Feet chaser, though, I will say. People with feet chasers get...
I'm 639.
Oh, nice! That is high. That's nice.
But if you look at if we look at the feats, so basically there's almost 4,000 feats at this point, 3910 feats, and I have 2674. And you can see that for Legends PvE, I have 18 feats. I barely have any of those. PvP I have more than I thought. For episodes, again, I have roughly a bit more than half of what we have for episodes. So, and sadly, going back to try to get feeds from certain episodes, sometimes it's challenging. Sometimes you'll need friends to help you out. There are certain feeds where the whole group has to work together. So, if you're playing with random players, that's difficult.
Yeah, you really do have to get a group together who are all willing to complete some of those feats, especially in the raids. My goodness,
Yeah.
Some people do not want to do it in the raid.
Yeah. Playing this in Universe Online with random players is a quite different experience than playing this in Universe Online in a league, and even worse in an organized league. Like if you're always playing with elite players, then yeah, you're probably not aware of the actual skill level of most of the DCUO players. I saw that on the forums not too long ago. Like someone thought that the skill level of the player base was not what it once was. Let's say, and I kind of did disagree with that because the skill level is the same. But of course, if you always play with elite players and somehow now you're stuck playing with random players, then yeah, now you realize that what the actual skill level of the player base is. For a long time. One of the things that always puzzled me with the devs, even the older devs, is that they always did seem to overestimate the skill level of the DCUO player base. They did not seem to understand that the average DCUO player was not an elite player, let's say. And part of the issue, I think, is that sadly sometimes they would actually listen to elite players. And for elite players, the content is always too easy. And sadly, the devs did not seem to realize that for most players, most players in DCO did not have the skill. Like for example, Origin Crisis, they made Origin Crisis super challenging because that's what the elite players kept on asking them to do. But the devs did not realize that when they made Origin Crisis, they made it so challenging that the average player just couldn't play the content. At the time, it was the first time that we saw what we called a league killer. Origin Crisis was a league killer. Entire leagues disappeared overnight when we got Origin Crisis because the people just couldn't play the content.
Yeah, I think it's a really big mistake for people to create content based off of what they're told rather than what they observe themselves. As a gamer, though, I feel like they should be playing the game themselves to know what is needed and isn't. I mean, listen to the fan base, of course, but at the same time, they have a healthy understanding of the situation.
They played the game, but from seeing various live stream, it became quite obvious that the devs were not the best DCO players. They could play the game, but they were not that good, let's say. And
reason for them to not listen to the elite players.
You would think so, but they still did. And but then afterwards, one of the things that Spittle said is that we'll never do that again. We'll never make a content that difficult again because a lot of players just left and never came back.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
then
they can't play it. Why would they play it?
But again, the cycle kept on going. Like at some point, we got new devs, new creative director, and then they tried to make the content more challenging again.
See, but that's why they have the Elite and Elite Plus versions, right? It's so that they can have a challenging version of it for those people, I think.
Ideally, yes.
That's what they're doing. say the Elite doesn't. They originally created Elite to do that, but Elite seems a little bit too easy to me, and then they did the Elite Plus on top of that. Elite seems much simpler than I think it should. I'm not going to complain about it though, because it means I can run through it with my low characters, but that's interesting to me.
But see, even then, elite players complain that the elite is too easy. So.
Yeah. I'm not an elite player, and I think that's too easy, to be honest.
And the worst part, I guess, is that sometimes you'll see people complain that the content is too easy, but then they'll artifact swap to make it even easier. They'll glitch the content to make it even easier. They'll kick anyone who's not a specific combat rating to make it easier. So anything that would make it challenging, they get rid of that. And so they do everything they can to make it easier, and then complain that it's too easy. So
that's why I think it would be really good if they actually do the 4 or 5 players into raids and stuff, because that's going to be challenging for some people, and it'll be fun. I think I'd love to just solo some stuff, to be honest. I have to do it on my Switch though, where my good character is. But
way back when we had someone called Death Mike who would solo everything with his fire tank.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
So yeah, hopefully we'll be able.
People who want to load me in. The problem is, on the Switch, there's not a lot of players at the moment, right? So if I wanted to load in and do something solo that is a normal 8 player, I'd have to find 8 people willing to load into it and then leave. First step, find 8 players. That's the hard step to start with. So I don't know that I can do it. I'd have to build up a character somewhere else to be able to do it, I think. Maybe here. I play here way more often than I used to.
Vermix is asking, they're putting villain and heroes together. They're going to allow heroes and villains to create a league together. So you're not. I don't think we're gonna be forced to do that, but we will have the option to do that if we want to. A bit like the House of Legends, like they pretty much gave us a hub for heroes and villains, but we still have the Watchtower for heroes. We still have the Hall of Doom for villains. But for again, sadly, as we mentioned before, in some servers, there's not a lot of villains. So if you want to see other players, you have to go to the House of Legends. Otherwise, sometimes the Hall of Doom, sadly, is pretty much deserted.
On Switch, it's definitely dead. Now, I'm hoping that means that not only can they do leagues where it's combined like that, but that we can also group with people who are villains and vice versa if they're the opposite. Just because I think that's going to make it easier for everyone to run content. Especially in open world when we're doing the exact same missions, that's handy to just group together so we can get it done nice and quick.
Well, see, they did mention the leagues, the cross-faction leagues. People assume that there's no point in giving us cross-faction leagues if we don't have cross-faction grouping. So people are assuming that with the cross-faction league, we will also get cross-faction grouping, but it's just an assumption. The devs themselves said nothing of the kind.
No, so, I'm just hoping that that's something that also is there. Otherwise, it's going to be everyone's going to have to combine leagues with villains and heroes so that those people can group together. Because that would be complicated, I feel. I really do hope they just allow everyone to be able to group with villains and heroes together.
Let's hope.
If you don't want to, you don't have to.
Cameron says, started playing this game just for... Didn't we read this one? Or... Oh, yeah, we saw that. Okay.
Sorry, it's because I read through and you were up to the same story.
That's okay. Well, the chat did jump on me, so I guess I went back too far.
Storm asks, how did you find so many people? It's never this alive when I played. Yeah, Multiverse just draws people in. You know? Everyone wants to be around him.
Yeah, no, it's nice to have people. Although, again, when we got the House of Legends, that's when we peaked. We had a lot more people at the time. And, by the way, we still get plenty of people still.
Yeah, you certainly do.
But even then...
This has been quite crowded because it's the Spotlight episode, so... Yeah, maybe it's the time of day they're playing? Because different times of day has a lot of people who are dead depending on whether everyone's sleeping, so... Maybe that's it. I'm not sure.
Well, way back when we would play at 5 also, so although at some point I was playing on Thursday at 5, but I think also it's the reset day. Like the reset used to be on Thursday, so Thursday Friday was when we had a lot of people playing.
Yeah.
Tuesday Friday was when we had a lot of people playing previously, but now with the reset on Thursday, on Tuesday,
Thursday, Friday is when we used to have people playing. Now that the reset's on Tuesday, that's
oh
not the
Tuesday,
case.
okay, sorry, yeah, too much there.
Have
So
a
yeah,
day.
yeah, people seem like I toyed at some point with the idea of maybe playing on Tuesday instead, like instead of live at 5 on Friday, maybe we could do that on Tuesday. We'll have to give it some thoughts.
Yeah. I'm curious how many people would come because it's in the middle of the week. I understand why the devs have chosen to do that because they can nut out any problems during a work week. But for everyone who plays, I've noticed there's still heaps who do this on the Friday nights. So I think that people are just more available on the weekend to play. I'm curious how it would go on a Tuesday, to be honest. Outlander is asking, hey Multi, if you could pick any 3 powers to have in real life, what would you pick and why?
Sorry, say that again.
If you could have any 3 powers in real life, what would you pick and why? Don't pick X-ray vision. We all know why you would choose that one.
You're too far. I couldn't look at you. I'd say flying. I don't know, super strength and invulnerability.
Oh, that is a good one. I had a list in my mind and invulnerability wasn't on it and I have no idea why. That's so smart.
Well, I guess maybe something that would make more sense would be having some sort of a healing factor so that you never get sick, or if you get hurt, you.
Oh, I was going to say immortality.
Oh, well, see, I didn't think of that one.
There we go. Immortality and invulnerability will last forever. Wait, does that mean we can never die even if we are, like, done with this? That would kind of suck. There has to be, like, a getting out clause.
Well, imagine in 1,000 years, like, let's say this Universe Online lasts another 10 years. Then it would spend 1,000 years without this Universe Online. That would be sad.
It's so sad, yeah. I didn't know that we could have that. If we also had time traveling, we could go back in time and relive it.
Wix,
Storm says, sorry,
oh,
you go.
well, there's Wixing who says the dev started once PvP died. I don't exactly agree with that, but I understand what you're saying. That
I do think that got rid of a good chunk of players who were interested in the PvP side of it. But I think the death started actually earlier than that. Storm says, hopefully City of Heroes comes back alive this year.
I don't know. I tried City of Heroes and Champions Online. These are two games that people keep on praising. I tried Champions Online and I just couldn't do it. Just the way the characters float, the way they talk, they walk, or even the way they fly, it doesn't have the weight or the impact or the cool factor that DCO has. Even the use of the power. I guess DCO is more action combat. The City of Heroes is more like Champion Online is more like a traditional MMOs. But I don't know. I tried it. I tried Champions. I just couldn't do it. And I would assume the same with City of Heroes. But to tell the truth, I didn't try it. I didn't try that one.
Same here.
But I often see people complain about the graphics of DCO. Holy crap! The graphics of DCO I think are 1,000 times better than the graphics of Champions Online. So when I see people praise Champion Online and complain about the graphics of DCO, I'm a bit puzzled. I have to admit.
Yeah, I don't get it. Not in specific reference to Champions Online. This is a game I have not seen. But I do get confused when people say things about the graphics on here because I like it. I think it looks comic booky, and I enjoy it a lot. And I don't know. I think it's cool. So I don't understand that one. I can understand people saying that like particular characters and different skins need a bit of an upgrade, which is fair. I mean, some of them are looking a little on the rough side. But other than that, I quite like this. I think it looks good. I don't want it to change. JB says multiverse, you have to look at the bigger picture. Saying it's a new team of devs is like complaining to the cook for the price of the steak.
Oh, I agree. I agree. At the end of the day, the game is the game, and we play to pay the game. At the end of the day, the devs offer us a service. It's just that when the service is not so good, and you know that the cook is a brand new cook that still needs training, it does put things in a different perspective than if you have a cook who's been there for 10 years and who knows how to do a great job. So yeah, at the end of the day, the game is the game, and they do offer a service. So if the service sucks, but yeah, it sucks.
And don't
But
pay it.
but there is sort of a built-in excuse right now because it's a new group of devs. Now, hopefully, in 6 months, once we get, I don't know, the next two DLCs, hopefully they will show us that okay, all of that is behind us, and they're finally ready and able to bring the game back to at least a minimum of of quality. But we're gonna have to wait for the next step. Not even just the next DLC, probably the next two DLCs before we can really form an opinion about what the new devs are doing.
I'm going to form opinions as I see things.
Sure.
But yeah, you've got absolutely got a point there. Hal L says people who pay to win are the ones who are killing the game. Company realized they can make money without putting too much content out. I used to be a member, but since the content dried up, I became free to play. Yeah, I can relate to this a little bit, particularly with the most recent additions that they've done, with the ability to purchase, in a roundabout way, purchase currency for the newest episode. You're able to purchase the mods. Everything is just pay to win, and it's a deterrent. And now my membership isn't even that much of an incentive because I'm not getting a new armor style guarantee at the end of my month. I'm not getting a cool item from my daily rewards. I'm sad.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we did take a hit with the daily rewards. That's for sure. Uh, because again, it was supposed to be a selling point for people to subscribe, and sadly, whatever selling point they used to have seems to be gone now.
It's really
So
disappearing.
now, yes, obviously you get a boost, a mega capsule. Like a mega capsule, when you think about it, is worth roughly $7. So you pay $15 for the subscription, you get a mega capsule that's worth $7. So right there, you sort of get back half of your investment. You also get 500 loyalty points or 500 marketplace cash. So that's another
Yeah.
$5 on top of the $7. So ultimately, you do get you still get whatever value for the membership, but it doesn't hold quite the same value. Like it right now, it's just a monetary value, as opposed to when we did get the Blue Beetle style. Like the Blue Beetle style made a lot of people happy. I don't know about you, I saw quite a few people use it, and not
Yeah,
even
I
just
can relate to
to.
it.
Not even just to recreate Blue Beetle. I saw some Scarlet Spiders. I saw some other looks. So the Blue Beetle style, at least, was one of the style that was well received, as opposed to the Mad Hatter. I'm still waiting to see one person in game using the Mad Hatter hat.
Yeah.
So,
I will
but
say, I wish they picked up that swatch on the Blue Beetle one.
so it wasn't a monetary value per se as the cool factor value or the desirable
Yeah.
factor value. So yes, technically with the booster bundle, with the mega capsule, I don't know why I keep saying booster bundle. With the mega capsule, yeah, it's going to be basically $7 worth of time capsule, but it doesn't have the same cool factor as getting the Blue Beetle style or the Vigilante style, or if we could get a cool Superman style, I guarantee a lot of people would probably subscribe for that, but they don't want to do that.
No, clearly. They want to make everything not really an incentive and charge for anything that is. Which is sad. Because I love this game. I don't want it to go the way it's going. I'm holding out for the newest episode, honestly. I want to see what's going on with that. Oh, sorry, chapter. But otherwise, I'm really skeptical and getting a little bit nervous because every change that's happening, I'm not really a big fan of, to be honest. With the exception of the league combination of villains and heroes, I think that would be good as long as we can group together in general as well. I think
Sure.
that's helpful for people who are playing, especially as a villain.
JB mentioned
JB,
DCUO is it's the investors and shareholders. Yes and no. If you go back, way back when there was a leak that DCUO was working on a graphics update. It was leaked in an investors document. People were saying that no, they were never going to do that, or they never officially announced it. Doesn't matter if they announced it; it got leaked in a report that at least they were planning to give us a graphics update. And but sadly, at the time they were planning to give us a graphics update, uh, the stocks of EG7 was way high. And sadly, not long after that, it dropped like a rock. So by the time we stopped hearing about the graphics update, the stocks were way down. And the same with an equivalent we have also is Lord of the Rings Online. They actually had announced a remaster of Lord of the Rings Online. And when they did announce the remaster, again, the stocks of EG7 was way high. Sadly, again, their stock, not long after, the stock dropped like a rock, and they canceled the remaster. And the reason for that is very simple. When they were planning to give us a graphics update, when they were planning to give a remaster to Lord of the Rings Online, they had a lot of money. Their pockets were full of money. Sadly, by the time they it takes a while before they can put something into action, and by the time they would have had to put their plans into motion, the stocks were way down, and they barely had a fraction of the money they had before. And last I checked, the stock was pretty much the lowest they had ever been. So that is part of the reason why is basically money. They used to have a lot of money, so that's when they promised the graphics update, and that's when at some point there was an announcement that in 2023 we would get the biggest DLC we ever had or something like that. And none of that happened because just a couple of months later, the stocks was almost worthless. So sadly, the value of the stock and the amount of cash they had available was quite different, and sadly, that certainly did change their plans.
Sorry, having a drink.
It's all right.
Cal is saying multiverse team. I don't suppose you have an active code still available for Wonder Woman event giveaway. Oh no.
Nah, well, anyway, those codes also were good until December 31st, I think. So even assuming we still had some codes, they would be expired by now. I am hoping that maybe we'll get some more codes for the anniversary event. We'll see. Sadly, the devs right now on vacation for the Christmas holiday, so we haven't heard from Doobs in a while. Doobs is the one who was pretty much giving us the codes, and from what I understand, he's on vacation at least until next week. So, but most of the
Comes back nicely refreshed and ready to do awesome things with DC.
maybe. But yeah, so odds are most of the devs are still on vacation. There might be someone holding the fort while everyone else is gone on vacation. But I would suspect they're probably gone until Monday. And even Monday, I assume when you come back from a long vacation like that, I guarantee you Monday morning they'll spend the whole morning chatting about their holiday and what they did and all that good stuff. And they might do a bit of work on Monday afternoon, but Monday they're not going to do a lot of work on Monday. I can guarantee it. So odds are the real work will start on Tuesday.
The lazy days.
Yep.
Somnus is asking, is there an easy way to get Bizarro coins? I'm trying to get the Mastermind chest piece.
No real easy way. You have to play the content and earn the coins from the content. Sadly, there's no real easy way. Obviously, once in a while we do get like a double currency, so that would be the easy way. If we do get a double currency and you have some replay badges, then replay that content while we do get the double currency. But that or the other easy way would be just buy it from the marketplace. You can now purchase the currency from the marketplace. I would say don't do it, but it's your money. You do what you want with it. But sadly, yeah, at the end of the day, there's no miracle. If you want the currency, you have to play the content. It's pretty much that simple.
Abby Sue says, I wish they would give us time capsules of whatever episode we're playing or open world we are at. So when we're in an open world, that particular world drops a specific capsule?
They tried something like that. We didn't get exactly drops like that, but they tried to add time capsule to some of the vendors. The Save the Universe had a couple of time capsule at some point, so it gave us an incentive to play Save the Universe. Like even if you had purchased everything the vendor was selling, you could still purchase a time capsule. So even if you had everything, you still had some incentive to play the Save the Universe missions, and then purchase some time capsule from our friend Rip Hunter. They did that also on Doctor Fate, I think, and I forget where else. I think Dakota City at some point had time capsule. So they did try to put in time capsule as rewards, so that if you had everything, you could at the very least use your currency to purchase some of those time capsule. But they did remove that. I guess too many people found a loophole to be able to get the time capsules for free. So that might have hurt the sales of time capsule.
Do you mean the stabilizers?
Sorry?
For Dakota City, I'm pretty sure they just had the stabilizers, didn't they? Or did they have a time capsule?
No, they had the time capsule we could purchase at some point, I think.
Oh, cool. But I wouldn't put them past them doing something like that, because it's a way of them regurgitating older content, right? They bring out the capsules we already had in the past and make it available through gameplay. People are going to pay for the currency of different episodes to be able to get those older time capsules, right? That could be something they might do, I don't know.
Actually, you might be right. You might be right. It might just be stabilizers, come to think of it. I might be confusing it.
I think it was.
But with Rip Hunter, we could actually purchase some time. At some point, we had the I think Kryptonian time capsule, and I forget which other we had.
I'm pretty sure Dakota City was just the.
It could be. But anyways, ultimately they gave up on that. Odds are it was costing them time capsule stabilizer sales or time capsule sales.
Dose of Wrestling says, ha ha ha, she hates how I sound on Atomic. Yes, I do. But on the bright side, I tend to play with my sound off unless I'm making a video. So I wouldn't hear it. But I also don't like how it looks very much either. So, you're both unattractive and sound horrible, apparently. I'm sure that's not true. I take it back. Now I feel bad. It was a joke. You remember that thing I said earlier about Australians taking the mickey out of you means they like you? That's true. David says, how do you know how much something is worth? Oh, you just...
Experience.
Things in there, yeah.
Experience.
You look at the rest of the things in there that are similar and see what they're selling for and guesstimate.
After a while, you get a sense of what something is worth.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much sadly. Sadly, the only real way to know how to use a broker is to use a broker, and the only real way to know the value of items is to use a broker and learn how much those items are worth. After a while, you will realize how much you can ask for certain items. Like sometimes you'll see an item for 100 million that you've tried to sell yourself many times before for like a 10 million, and sometimes at 10 million it didn't even sell. So sometimes you can look at that and tell that okay, the person doesn't know the value of the item. Now it could happen sometimes that something goes up in value. For example, let's take the flash boots. Like the flash boots were some fairly valuable item at some point, and then the price went down to roughly 2 million. But once in a while, whenever we would get, let's say, a new Flash emblem, when we got the Flash helmet for Jay Garrick, when we got the Flash cowl, then the value of the boots would go back to 20 some million. Why? Because at the time, when we get a new Flash cowl, then everyone needs the boots for their new Flash character. So depending on the circumstances, sometimes the value of something would go up and down. And that again in the case of the flash boots, when we had some flash gear and people were creating new flash characters, well, they needed the flash boots, of course. The same with Batman. Like when we got let's say some new Batman gear, people had to create a new Batman character, so they needed the Batwoman cape, of course. So the value would go up when that happened. But it's something you learn through experience. You learn that eventually, well, that's different now. It's true. You learn that because way back when let's say on Monday morning there was almost no one playing the game, So you had to you could not sell for something for as much as when you sold it, let's say on Friday. On Thursday and Friday and Saturday, that used to be the day where there was the most people. And on Monday, Tuesday, there wasn't that many people, so you knew that you couldn't sell on Monday. You could not sell an item the same price as you could on Friday. Now with the Tuesday, now that the reset is Tuesday, things are a bit different. But there are still certain days when things are more valuable, and certain days where they're not so valuable. And also when we get a new event, when we get a new event, you'll see the price of some item rise because it brings back a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of sellers.
Also, you can kind of gauge based on if it's something from a new time capsule release. If you get elite items, not elite, enhanced items from that quick and sell them quick, and also if you get the collection items quick and get the rare ones quick and sell them quick, you can mark those up by quite a lot early on.
But sadly, for the past few time capsules, for most items, sadly the price drops like a rock. It's sad.
It does. You have to be quick. Because if you're not early on, then they start to lose value really quickly, especially on the US server because the pricing is so vast. When it starts so high, it drops so low so quickly. So
Now
you have
there
to be quick.
there are exceptions. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, no, you go.
There are exceptions to that. Like the if something is highly highly not highly requested but highly some items will be more popular than others. Like if you have an ambush bug mask, I won't sell for as much as if you have a brand new Batman mask. And the price of the ambush bug mask would probably drop like a rock after a day or two. The Batman mask might be an exception. It might actually go up in value after a while. So depending on how popular the item is, that will also influence the price. But there
Yeah,
are
that's
some
really true.
but there are some items, and sometimes even some uber rare items that you can barely sell for a handful of rocks. It's sad, but that's how it is.
Yeah, especially some collections are just completely not desirable. People don't want the end result, whatever the item is, so no one actually cares, even if people are selling the rarest of the collection ones. So, yeah, I take what I said with a grain of salt. Go with what Multi said. He's more accurate.
But also it depends on the style we have. Like an example would be the Duella Dent style. Nobody wanted to buy that style. That style was valuable for about 5 seconds, and the price dropped, and you could barely sell it for peanuts afterwards because nobody wanted to have that style. It was a bit first the style wasn't very desirable to begin with, but also it wasn't what people wanted. Like it was supposed to be at the time a Joker time capsule, and they actually made it a Joker's daughter time capsule. So already to begin with, people were disappointed with the time capsule, and when they saw the style that it wasn't even a Joker style, people didn't want to have the style. Like there's some people who would get the style for the feet, and but that's pretty much it.
That's
So
me. I get the style for the feet.
so sadly, when they come up with a style that nobody wants, uh, good luck trying to sell it. And
Kabishi is saying, oh, sorry, you go.
it's okay. And it's one of the issue I guess we have with freaking know that. Give me a minute. And if you look at the mega capsule we're going to have, like let's say it's not the best time capsule, the best selection of time capsule. Like we don't have something like the Cursed Gotham time capsule. The Cursed Gotham time capsule was very very popular, and there were some highly desirable styles in that. But here we have the Joker's Legacy time capsule. Not much worth getting in there. The LexCorp style is not too bad, but I don't think it's all that popular. The same with the Secrets of Kondak. The Technomancer, that one was a bust. The Kryptonian General is
I
probably
tried to
the
poke on it though, but yeah,
so,
it was a bust for most people.
the Kryptonian General is probably the best that we had in a while with the Superman emblem and the Zod style. That was pretty neat. We had the Batman Eternal with the Batman emblem. Some of those were did end up being valuable. For the Batman style itself, like the future Batman, not sure if it was that well received or not. The Total Tool, People who wanted to create Deadpool were very happy. Everybody else didn't care. And the same with
Yeah, I
Katana.
didn't care.
I don't think Katana was that popular. For the Apocalypsean Overlord, it depends. If you had a dark side character, you did the happy dance. If you did not have a dark side character, you didn't care about the time capsule. So sadly, the last nine time capsule we had, nothing really worth, not a lot worth mentioning from those time capsule. Sadly, as
I
opposed
look at
to
I like the katana one, and I'm a little disappointed on that one with all the flowers.
as opposed to if you look at the cursed Gotham time capsule, there was a lot of very valuable item in that time capsule. There were some
Yeah, they
great
look the
great
best though.
materials like the blue spark material. There were some great auras. There was a lot of good stuff in that time capsule. So that was a and if you look at the broker, that time capsule is almost gone because it's one of the time capsule that people were really quick to purchase because you had some really good stuff in there.
I reckon they'll start bringing those back in some way because they
Uh,
seem very much intent upon rehashing old content, right? Old items, so they don't have to create anything new. I reckon
nah,
they'll do that with the time capsules.
the items are on the booster gold vendor for like 5,000
I know.
quarks, so they're not going to bring it back.
I don't know. I don't think they'll bring it back in the same form, but potentially items from it. I think they really are trying to rehash old stuff, and for players like me who haven't played as long, some of that stuff is desirable. And if I don't have the quarks for it, if they find another way to bring it into the game for me to access, I probably would do that. So, I don't know. I wonder. I'm not 100% sure. I'm just guessing here. It's pure speculation.
That's okay. So let's go to the next comment before we end up still being here at the midnight.
Sabishi Black says, funny how no matter if it's fictional or in real life, the US pricing is always jacked up beyond repair. Actually, in Australia, our pricing is worse than the US. A lot of places jack up their pricing by 200-300% to sell to Australians. If you look at items that sell in the US compared to the items that sell in Australia, what we pay for them in US dollars is usually around double, sometimes more, than what the US pays for those items. Living in Australia is very expensive, and that's on top of America, which is already very expensive. So I do like some things about Australia compared to other places, like our healthcare system is much better than a lot of places, but it's expensive to live here. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, there's quite a few reasons for that. The price for energy would be one reason. When energy is more expensive, then yeah, it pushes the price of everything up. Because
Yeah.
like here we have the carbon tax. Basically, whenever you buy gas, you have to. There's a lot of taxes that you have to pay in order to be able to
Yeah, we
get
have
your gas.
taxes too.
So,
We
but
have a carbon tax too.
what happens is that those taxes raises the price of everything because the farmer, let's say the farmer who makes corn, well, he probably uses tractors. So whatever tractors or farming equipment he uses that gas. And if the price of the gas goes up or if the tax is too expensive, well, he has to sell the corn for more money. He has to raise the price of corn. And then in order to deliver that corn to the store, well, the guy carrying the corn, well, he has to pay the tax as well, the gas tax as well. So so that raises the price of corn. And then the supermarket that sells the corn, well, odds are they also use gas. Like they have delivery trucks. So they also have to raise the price of corn. So at every step, the price of corn has to go up because of the price of energy, because of the gas tax, the
Oh yeah,
the
absolutely
carbon
true.
tax. So all of that together means that the corn, like here in the past couple of years, a lot of things did go up twice in value, if not more. Something that used to be 99 cents like 2 years ago is now $2-3. So it's
Or 15.
yeah. So the price did go up really really quickly, and sadly there's no indication that it will go down anytime soon.
Without saying anything particularly specific, just for my own legal safety, in Australia, we've recently had a couple of legal issues occur with some of the larger supermarkets that are here because they were making money during a time, particularly during COVID, but also making money by upping the prices and collaborating with each other, which is something they're not legally meant to do. The market is supposed to be kept to a status quo and a reasonable price because they're supposed to be competing with each other. And instead they were collaborating, speaking with each other about making sure that their prices were going up consistently with one another, and they were rolling in it while the rest of us are like dying and drowning. So not just the normal way that things go up in price, but also people being greedy is a massive cause of the prices in Australia. And also because we have such a high price on the stuff in Australia, other places that are selling to us online, like we have to, anytime we purchase something from overseas online, we have a tax on that also, but they will mark it up by a couple of %, just for us. Thanks a lot. Which we can see now because we are online and we've noticed, but for a while there, Australians were pretty naive and paying too much for a lot of things.
So anyway, so sadly, there's a lot of reasons why the prices go up, and it's a mixture of a whole bunch of stuff. The cost of energy, supply and demand is a big thing too, and a lot of other reasons. But this is not a financial channel, so we'll talk about something else before YouTube accuses us of giving financial advising. So let's move on to the next one.
No worries. Most MMOs suffer from that same issue, to be honest. I'm guessing that's in reference to the devs and the shareholders issue.
Well, probably.
Aiden says back then it was certain players and devs that the devs listened to. Very certain players. Those certain players abused their VIP given by the devs. Interesting, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they sadly they have a habit of listening to the wrong people, and the new devs are sadly no different. When we got the Brainiac DLC, again they did listen to the wrong people. If you're wondering why we can for the Brainiac DLC we can do all the missions in like 3 minutes. The reason for that is that the people testing the content kept on complaining that like at some point we had to defeat, I think it was 70 ads or 76 ads or something, and people kept complaining it was too much, or it was lowered to 60, 50. Now I think we have to defeat 30 ads. So that's why they basically they listened. Some of the people that were asking that were giving feedback, in relation to they wanted to be able to play the content with their alts without taking too much time, to be able to play it as quickly as possible. The devs did listen to them, and it gave us what it gave us. So it gave us content that was really really quick to complete.
I mean, it's good for the people who have 120 characters.
So I'm hoping that I'm hoping that now that they made that mistake for at least 2 DLCs, hopefully they're not going to make that mistake again. But we don't know.
That was the previous devs, though, wasn't it? It wasn't these guys.
No, it was these guys.
Oh, well, there you go. I did not know that. I thought they started at Apocalyptic. I didn't realize that they started at Brainiac.
Like by the time by the time we were testing the Brainiac DLC, it was the new devs.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize. I probably knew at the time, and I just haven't clicked now. Waxing says, I miss the days of taking a week of non-stop grind just to get across the fortress bridge.
Just to get back to the, it wasn't a secret, the whole thingy. All you had to do at the time was to go to the test, when the DLC was on the test server, all you had to do was to go to the test server, to go in there's a section in the forums, well, people can give their comments from the test server. So just go look at those and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's not a top secret, and it's something that anyone who spends some time on the test server and sometimes on the forums, in the test section of the forums, it should be common knowledge to everyone. But not everyone goes to those places. So
yeah, I'm one of those people. I go to the test server, but I definitely don't go to the forums because I have like limited time for one, and two because I'm not really in the mood to deal with people who are aggro and being mean. So I found that a lot of forums are like that, so I just avoid them.
like if you go to the forums, you still have the test the test server section, and you could go back in time and look at whatever feedback was given 3 months, 6 months, a year ago, if you want to.
Mm.
Like the testing feedback thread is always there. Although the forums,
Oh, sorry.
oh, although the forums right now are super slow to load, that's a nightmare.
That doesn't sound fun. I'm glad I'm not there. If there's anything worth knowing on the forums, Multi just tells me. So.
Well, I'm using the forums less and less, and I go to if I hope to try to know something, I'll go to Discord or X. That's one of the
Same.
reasons why I started an X account. Sadly, trying to get the information from the forums, it's frustrating sometimes. So X seems to be a better option, or the Discord.
Aiden said kick anyone that's better than them. What is that referring to?
Not sure.
Like groups? Like you have a group of people who are in, I don't know, like a raid, and you kick someone who's better than you because you don't want to be shown up? Is that what it means? I have no idea. I'm lost.
I don't know.
Turbocharge says, I would join, but I have a sore throat. I'm going to try some vapor rub. Everyone have a wonderful weekend. Stay warm. Oh, I hope that helps. I just recently toured his base. I hope he has some rest. Oh, and they're giving the same advice in the chat that they gave to me the last time I had a sore throat.
Aww.
You guys are lovely. So helpful. You have lovely people in your chat, Multi.
Always.
And honey does seem to work, but it's temporary. It's like it coats your throat for a while, and it works for a while, and then after a while, it's no longer working. That was a lot of whiles and work. Sometimes I speak, and it's too late because I said the thing I said. So.
Too late. Too late.
Yeah. Green Lantern says a league with villains seems cool. I bet roleplay will be off the chain. Oh, true. I haven't RP'd in any MMO for ages, but the last time I did was on Elder Scrolls, so that's like what, 5 or 6 years ago. How long have we been playing this? Nearly 5 years. Nearly 5 years ago. I'm guessing you don't. Do you roleplay? I'm guessing no. I'm guessing no.
In DCUO in my head. Like when I play my Flash character, in my head I'm the Flash, and I have a storyline in my head. But I did that also. I did that also with Magic the Gathering. There's not really role playing Magic the Gathering, but when I would summon my Royal Assassin, I would role play in my head what happened and how he would sneak in and then backstab someone and kills him. So.
How can you roleplay Magic the Gathering? You're not even a character. You're playing a bunch of characters, potentially. I mean, you can do it without actual character, but never mind. You're not playing a character, Multi.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Oh, that means every time I played my vampire deck, I would have had to like picture being a vampire and what that vampire would do every time. No.
No, you picture being the vampire lord, moving your minions around and doing sneaky stuff.
Oh, I guess that makes more sense. Fair enough. I guess if I'm playing Commander, that makes sense. But yeah. It's been so long since I played MTG.
Me too.
And D&D.
Actually, my pants are on fire. I play MTG Arena sometimes.
Oh, nice. Fred Kruger says, I'm trying to get the skeleton warrior feat, but people keep stopping the spawn. I don't know what that feat is. What's that feat? Is that
when we fight the Hydra, there's a whole bunch of skeletons that are being summoned. So I think you have to let them spawn.
I'm so sorry, I'm one of the deactivators. I will stop deactivating. Whatever.
Well,
I will stop doing the comp.
it depends if people need the feat or not. If nobody needs the feat, then yeah, you deactivate them.
Yeah, well, I probably need the feat because I haven't played this content on here until like today and the other day with my friend. So probably, but regardless, if someone wants a feat, I tend to try to accommodate that person. You know. Oh, I got to the bottom. That's great. Okay. Fluffy Bun says, nah, DC graphic is garbo. So many people think so. I am of the opinion that it's nice. I like it.
It's the best graphics we ever had.
It's so. I think even if people people think it looks too unrealistic, I think that goes into the whole comic book thing, right? I'm fine. I like it. I have no issue.
There's people who seems to be to want only realistic graphics. I don't understand or I don't agree. Even like with Marvel Rivals, one of the great thing is that the graphics are stylized. They're not realistic at all, and they're even a bit manga influenced, manga like.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I kind of prefer something like that than with the Marvel Avengers that were trying to get something more quote unquote realistic, and it didn't really work at all.
Did I just get knocked out? I did. Ah! No!
Very disappointed.
At least if I'm knocked out, I can't accidentally activate the thing to stop the spawning skeletons, you know? Thank you to whoever picked me up, that was nice.
Someone playing God mode who gets knocked out, very disappointing.
Hey! I wasn't on my tank mode. This totally doesn't count. Also, my artifacts aren't leveled. You're too harsh, Multi. I don't see skeletons spawning. Do we kill him too fast? We kill him too fast. Huh? I don't know.
David Sharp says you can complain to the cook about the quality of the steak. Need to be worth the money you pay for. Sure, you can complain to the cook, but
That's what I was gonna say, but I shut up because I didn't want to sound stupid. That's what I was gonna say.
you can complain to the cook, but good luck getting the cook not to spit on your steak afterwards.
And also, like, shouldn't if the previous cook has found issues, wouldn't you be aware of those issues that a cook has had, and then don't do those things because you don't do that in that restaurant because the previous cook did and it was a mistake, right? That makes sense to me. I'm with David on this. Thank you, David.
Aiden says what the campaign events will be, if they will be worth the quality and quantity. We don't know at this point. We don't know. We heard that they're going to have some sort of campaign system, but what is it really going to be? People have been speculating based on Star Trek Online. Apparently, the campaign thing is something that we're using in Star Trek Online. So with the various chapters, the various events, I guess there will be some things, some markers we'll have to get, or some things we'll have to do, and then at the end of the year, once we did all of that, we'll get some sort of a special reward. But we don't have the details just yet. But we can sort of guesstimate that it's going to be sort of like Star Trek Online, most likely, but we don't really know for sure.
Yeah, they were really vague in that letter.
Very vague.
Smart to be vague, but also annoying.
I'm not sure if I would say smart, but so.
Because if they backtrack or if they change their tact on what they're doing, it's smart in that no one knows what they were actually going to do with it. But I mean, they're going to get backlash either way, aren't they?
Yes, that's why it doesn't matter if it's smart or not. If they're trying to get people not to complain, it's not going to happen. And people will complain because they get no information. And even if we get the information last minute, like basically what they're doing right now, people will still complain.
Yeah.
So they'll get a double dose of complaining.
I don't know how much they should care about the complaining. I think they care more about the monetization. If people complain, it doesn't necessarily mean that they won't get the monetization still. But yeah.
No, I don't think they care about the complaint very much, which is probably why they
listen to the people complaining.
Well, it's probably why they communicate with us as little as possible. They just don't bother, don't care about the complaint or what do we say.
David says, I'm paying $42.67 every 3 months for DC Universe Online subscription. It would be nice if it were less, but for me it's worth the money to play the game and have access to all my characters. I agree. I am the kind of person who doesn't really go out anywhere. This is my fun thing that I do. I play this game. I love it. So I don't mind putting the money in for my enjoyment on something fun. I don't go out and, have meals in fancy places or go out drinking or party or anything like that. I'm boring. And this is my fun thing. So I don't mind putting the money in, but I will say some of the changes are making me a little bit deterred, and that's not easy to deter me from putting money into something I love. So, I'm with you right now, but let's see where I am in 6 months.
I understand. When I was playing DC Universe Online the first 4 years, DC Universe Online was pretty much the only game I was playing, or the only game I was paying for. Sometimes you had some like there was this Magic the Gathering game you could get on PlayStation 3 at the time that was for free. But I was barely I was so DC Universe Online was the only game I was really paying for, and I was only really paying for the subscription for the first 4 or 5 years. Once in a while, I would buy something like the armories, and even then, at first, we were limited to like 4 armories, I think. So um, for like 4 years, DC Universe Online, the monthly subscription for DC Universe Online, that was pretty much the only money I was spending on gaming. And then when I got my PS4, I started buying a whole bunch of new games, and came to realize that when I was only playing DCUO, I was saving a lot of money.
Well, that's not. See, it's smart to put money into DC.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
For you it is. For me it is. For other people maybe not. Who knows? But yeah, I figure I'm allowed to have something that I have that's recreational for me, and this is it. So I don't mind spending a bit on it. I don't want it to change so much that I'm deterred, though, I will say.
Oh,
But you
Bigula,
will.
yeah. How do I get better might origin augments? It's quite
Yeah.
simple. For the origin augments, you should already have them. They do give it to you when you're level 20. Is it 25?
I think it's 25, yeah.
Okay. So when you reach level 25, you should get your augments. I for if my pants are on fire, by the time you reach level 30, you will have those augments. And then afterwards, if you go to your not what I wanted to do at all. Let's try that again. Okay, if you go here, I was on the wrong tab. Basically, here, this is the tab with your augments. But there is also the fortified tab. This is where you can go to make your augments better. So you go to the fortified tab, you click on the mighty metagene, and then you will gather a whole bunch of stuff. And when you salvage your gear, it will also give you some exobytes you can use. So you can use those to fortify your augments and try to make them a little bit better. Sadly, as time goes by, it'll cost you more and more and more to be able to upgrade your augments. So it becomes more and more expensive to rank up your augments. Expensive in terms of experience, not in terms of money. So you will need more and more components to be able to upgrade your augments, but you can still do it. Like well, if you check, like right now for the vital augments, I think I'm pretty much done upgrading those. Let's go back. So like for the might augment, for the vital augments, I've reached the maximum rank. So now I have to upgrade my might augments. And then of course there's also the precision augments that I will probably upgrade afterwards. But to make a long story short, that's where you can go. You go to that tab, upgrade your augments, and that's how you can get better augments.
I'm wondering if he accidentally said origin and meant adaptive.
For the adaptive, it's the same more or less. Usually you get them from I forget which NPC we get those from. Normally, normally you get those from one of the NPC will give you those augments when you start the new DLC.
Yeah.
You get two augments. If you want more, you can buy them from the vendor. Like for example, you could decide to have two vital augments for your controller, and then two might augments for your DPS. So obviously you will have to buy at least two of those augments from the vendor. And
If you're
it's
someone who is low level when you first go in there, your adaptive augments are going to be like, I don't know what they call them, like broken or tarnished, you know, the crappier version of them. The way that you get the upgraded version of them is to have a particular CR rating. Once your CR rating hits that level, you'll see it at the vendor and be able to purchase the better one. And then you can use the one that's broken, tarnished, whatever, and pay that into your newer one so that they can go away and you've actually not wasted any of the stuff you've put into it with the exception of catalysts.
I just realized I'm still using the old augments. And anyway, to upgrade your augments, you have to do pretty much the same thing. So you evil
Yeah.
menu. So you go here. Oh, maximum rank. So So you have again to go and upgrade your augments pretty much the same way. And at some point you reach maximum rank and you cannot upgrade them anymore.
Beautiful.
In an ideal world, you should be able to upgrade your augments before the next DLC. But the what you need to upgrade the augments, sadly, is a random drop. You can salvage your gear, although that one will be for the origin augment, so I didn't say anything. So
Yeah,
so
don't
what you need to upgrade your augments is a random drop. If you're lucky, it'll be faster. If you're not so lucky, it'll take a while. One way to
yeah.
speed that up is use multiple characters. So if you play the content with multiple characters, then you take all your component and send it to your main character. That will speed up the process to upgrade your augments.
You can also replay badge if you only have one character, continuously unlock those missions and do them over and over again until you get all the drops for them. But that costs you real life money, so that's not as fun.
I hope this made sense.
I think so. You were pretty comprehensive. I think if anything didn't make sense, it's probably what I said. Luxing says, I played since beta, stopped playing around 6 years ago, but still think about the game. I would give it another try if I could use my PS Tune on my PC because of the feats that I had grinded and rare items. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
sorry.
switched lives, I stopped to go to ESO and you did the opposite. Oh, so truly did!
Yeah, sorry about that, but it's not gonna happen. Because whoever's handling the monetization for DCUO on PC, not the same people that are handling it on PlayStation. On PlayStation, I assume it has to do with the PlayStation Store and with Sony. So Ozard are the one managing that. On PC, I assume it's Microsoft or one
Yeah.
of their affiliates. So Microsoft gets money from your PC account. Sony gets money from your PlayStation account, and it's not the same entities. So Sony doesn't want to lose whatever money you're going to give them, or you could potentially give them. So they will not want your character to go from PlayStation to PC. So that
Yeah,
sadly,
you'd have to start from scratch. Which,
yeah.
frankly, isn't that bad. It's not that bad. Once you get to level 30, leveling your CR rating up is really quite easy.
But obviously, if you have some rare styles that are no longer available, then yeah, that you cannot get those.
Yeah, that's gone. I mean, unless they bring it back, which these guys seem like they're bringing back a lot of things to save them having to make anything new. So maybe.
Yeah, sometimes it can be surprising. Like when we had Jackster left, when Jackster left with a whole bunch of devs, we got the what was it called, Redux booster bundle or something like that.
Yeah.
So basically, we got a booster bundle that was made up of reused assets, and so if you already had everything, then yeah, sadly it didn't give you much. But if you were a player who somehow missed out on some of those older rewards, that was a nice thing to have. So it was a mixed
Yeah.
blessing. Uh, but they gave us a booster model with new assets. They even gave us a time capsule with reused assets somehow.
Yeah.
Because at the time their devs were gone, they probably had no one to be able to create new assets. So they gave us a booster bundle and a time capsule made out entirely of reused assets.
There we go. I think it's funny how he said when we swapped lives that he went from DC to ESO and I went from ESO to DC. It's a good point. There was like a change that happened in ESO that mildly, very, very mildly frustrated me, and I was like, that's so annoying, I don't want to do that again. Where I had built up my character to a particular point, and I was really happy with her, and then they did a new update, and there was an increase in the equivalent of stat points that you could do on there, and but you had to pay through a tree to get to the abilities that I had previously had unlocked. So now I couldn't have the same stats that I had before because I had to have more stat points to be able to pay through these things that I don't use to get to the ones that I do use. And I was annoyed because I just got it right. And I was like, yeah, that's annoying. And then I went over to DC and was like, I like this. This is fun. I love it. And also, I liked DC in the past as well. When I was younger, I read some comics, so I like DC. So this was good. And you did the opposite. You were on DC and you were like, you know what? I'm done with this. He said, I did start on PC for a bit, but because of the dead content, the feats are impossible to get, and I am a feat hunter. Yeah, Yeah, I do like getting feats. I'm not an elitist, but I love trying to get my feats done. So I understand.
Yeah, getting some of the older feats and group content. Yeah, that's a challenge. The
Yeah,
omnibus
you
was
need like
supposed
people who are really willing.
the omnibus was supposed to fix that, and it didn't even come close to doing that.
No, people speedrun those. Even I'll speedrun those. Even if I don't have the feats, if everyone else is speedrunning through, you speedrun through. Otherwise, you get left behind. But yeah, just need friends. That's the problem with MMOs. You need friends.
Yeah, or they need to give an option to do it solo if you cannot get a group.
Yeah, yep, I agree with that.
But either way, like for the omnibus, they have to come up with a better system. The omnibus clearly doesn't work. It doesn't do what it was
Yeah,
supposed to do. It doesn't fix whatever issues it was supposed to fix. So they need a new system.
yeah. I wonder
Now,
if they'll do one. It doesn't sound like it. It sounds like they're doing new things
well, they're
and
talking about
updating
allowing
systems.
us. They're talking about allowing us to go into missions with less people. Like
Yes, I'm
even
looking
if we
forward
don't
to
have
that.
full group, so that could be a workaround for that.
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll see.
yep. I'm looking forward to it. I'm like on the edge of my seat, but also kind of nervous. Excited, nervous? That's the new term? Excited, nervous about the newest content releases because I honestly don't know what to expect, and I don't want to get too excited about something that might really, really suck.
Yeah, sometimes sadly it's very easy sometimes to give too much credit to the devs, not just the DCUO devs, but the devs in general. And then
Yeah.
when you end up with reality, it turns out you gave them too much credit. Happens a lot with
Yeah.
TV shows and movies. Sadly,
Yeah.
sometimes you give them credit thinking that the storyline is going somewhere, and it's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Ah, I'm on fire! There we go. Did we hit the bottom? Oh my goodness, I think we hit the bottom.
Yeah.
Waxing friends are
So
overrated.
so we're going to defeat the Hydra one more time, and we'll probably be done after that.
Sweet.
Oh no, my cape is gone. So sad now.
What happened to your cape? I can see it.
I don't see it.
Oh. It's like those wings, the raven wings that can and can't be seen.
Nah, it's the I got a few like the UI was glitching a little bit earlier. And when there's too many people on the map, the game struggles a bit. And here it's just not loading my cape because
Well, that's good,
uh,
because capes are stupid.
nah, capes are the best.
They are. They look cool. That's the only good thing about them. There's
I,
nothing else.
I got you to get to like the emblems. The cape are next.
Deadbeat is saying, how do you go this long without crashes? I can't play 2 to 3 crashes. Hang on. I can't play without 2 to 3 crashes per hour. Honestly, I normally crash way more than this, but I found if I play on my PS4 instead of my PS5 for the live, and then I go onto my phone data, it happens a lot less for some reason, so that works for me.
Honestly,
I don't know what's happening with multi.
honestly, I can't complain too much because I do crash once in a while, but not too often. So it's okay. Although when I do crash, it's a pretty big crash. But so far I can't really complain about the crashes so too much.
Oh, I can. I crash all the time. This is the best. Like every time I come live, the way that I play on my PS4 set up with my phone data is the only time I have a really good run. But I can't do that all the time because phone data is expensive. So we don't do that.
But yeah,
Even
it
my last video I made that wasn't a base tour, I crashed 3 times within an hour and a half. So, you know.
yeah it would be nice if they would fix the crash issues on PlayStation 5. Sadly, they either they can't do it or they stretch too thin and they didn't get around to doing that just yet.
Yeah. I mean, unless it's going to become a deterrent for people to play it, it's probably not high on their agenda because as long as people are still playing, I mean, everyone can go to the PS4 client and that works a little bit better than the PS5 client as far as I know because I still use PS4 client even when I'm on my PlayStation 5. So I feel like I'm saying PS and PlayStation a lot.
Yeah, but still, it would be nice if they would fix the crash issue and the chat issue. Sometimes sadly the chat crashes, and
Yeah.
that's a bit annoying too.
Yeah, that's happened with us quite a few times, the crashing of the audio. And I've learned never to turn my mic off because the second I do, the sound goes to hell as soon as I come back. So you guys just get to hear every time I cough, sneeze, and drink. There we go. And it sounds like my microphone is already pretty bad for you guys anyway, so I'm sorry about that. I don't know why it is, because when I record with it, it works perfectly fine for my recordings, but
Oh,
when
we
you
got the robot voice here.
Sorry?
We had a robot talking.
Oh, you are also robot talking. We just talked about my microphone and now this is happening.
See? You jinxed it.
I did, I jinxed it. I'm so sorry. I take it all back. Okay, don't get knocked out by the Hydra this time. Skull says just crashed. I'm guessing that was a little while ago, but yeah, yeah. That's just standard with this game. On
Yeah.
Twitch, everyone calls it DC'd. Because it's so common that people just get booted from the game, it's called DC'd. Because DC just DC'd you.
Yeah, people would call it disconnected online at some point. But at some point, like on PlayStation 4 for a long time, we didn't get crashes or even the chat issues.
Yeah.
But and then on PlayStation, then when we started getting issues, we got the PlayStation 5. We were able to switch to PlayStation 5. So again, that kind of sort of fixed a lot of issues in a roundabout ways. But now, pretty much since I would say since the PlayStation 5 client, although maybe a bit before, even a bit before that, we started seeing chat issues. We started seeing crashes. Uh, but the chat issue is something we hadn't seen in a long, long time. So it was sad
Yeah.
to see it being back and being back so much. So let's collect our rewards.
Yay, rewards! Too bad it's not chocolate. I really want some chocolate right now. That's bad, because I haven't even had breakfast and I want chocolate first. That's terrible.
And let's go back to the House of Legends. So, guys, we're going to stick around for maybe a couple more minutes. If you have any questions, any last minute questions, the time to ask them is now.
Yay! Oh, that was a good run. I feel like my inventory is going to look like hell.
Probably.
Yeah.
We're in phase 4, for those wondering, unless there's a better phase. Oh, actually, let's go to phase 11. There's almost no one.
Yay!
So, any big plans for the weekend, Shadow Lady?
Editing videos.
Well, I saw
Every weekend.
you did look at the lair earlier, didn't you? Earlier today?
Yeah, I did a base tour. It would have released last night for me, but earlier today for everyone in Canada and the US. Yeah, it's fun touring bases. I really enjoy it. And Turbocharge was actually in your comment section, so the person who I toured the base off was the person in your comment section who has left, though. So that's cool. I love touring people's bases. It's so fun. Did I say pieces base? Just language escapes me sometimes, and when I'm extra tired, it escapes me even more. And extra tired is what I am today. Do you have plans for this weekend, Multi? Plans with Rocky?
No, I'll probably spend some time with Rocky, and that'll probably be it.
That
Um,
sounds relaxing.
so I'm hoping. Let me check something first. I'm hoping to be able to make a video. Well, basically, right now we're waiting for the anniversary event. It's going to be the 14th anniversary of DC Universe Online. We don't have any information about that just yet. If I was a betting man, I would say that we are probably going to get it on Tuesday the 7th. As I mentioned a bit before, right now the devs are probably still on vacation, or most of the devs are probably still on vacation. So if I was a betting man, I would say they'll probably come back on Monday. So Tuesday, if all goes well, maybe we'll get information about the upcoming event.
Mm.
But
I also think it's going to be the 7th, too.
trying to see on the sometimes we get information on the Discords. I'm trying to see if there's something there. Not yet. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to make a video about the anniversary event soon. Or better yet, I'm hoping that we will get the anniversary event soon. Again, I would suspect that at this point, seeing how we did not get it on the test server, and we're already Monday, Tuesday. Tuesday will be the 7th. I strongly doubt they'll put it on the test server the 7th, so that we can get it 2 weeks after that. So again, I suspect we might get it on the 7th, but don't quote me on that. I'm just speculating here.
Yeah, I think you have good speculation on that one, though. I think it'll be the 7th as well, because that's when the other stuff is due to release. So I feel like they'll do it all at once. But yeah, it's just speculation.
So it would be nice if they did test it first, but maybe not.
Aiden says Shadow Lady is planning on taking over Multiverse. Aiden, I would really appreciate it if you didn't reveal my plans to everybody.
Too late.
It's really not appropriate. Now everybody knows. I'm gonna have to change my plans, man. I could never do that. I like you too much, Multi.
And for the
Joel says the Justice League will stop her. Yeah. It won't take much. Just give me, something nice that's distracting. I'll be fine.
and normally for the DCUO anniversary itself, like on January 11th, sometimes that's when we do get the various anniversary gift from DCUO. So I'm guessing it's going to be the same thing this year, but with the new devs, we never know.
Yeah, true. Wuxing is asking, are you... oh, hang on. Yella said she is evil. Sorry, the way that you guys say it. Evil.
Evil!
At the moment, I'm playing my hero.
Too late.
And Wuxing said, are you on EU or NA, as there is a lot more people on than I was. I'm not sure if he's speaking to you or me, but currently we're both on the US server. If he's talking about on Elder Scrolls, I am mainly on EU, but I have both. So I have characters on NA also. Oh, it must be, because North America is what they call it. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm on both, but EU more often than NA. That must have been for me. I'm garbled. But I'm gonna... You talk. I can't talk.
How dare you not talk?
I'm screwing up my words and talking over the top of myself and messing up. This is the thing I was worried would happen if I ever went live without you here. And it's happening, and you're here, so I'm just gonna shut up for a second.
Sorry, I'm a bit distracted right now.
Oh, that's fair enough. It's easy to get distracted when I'm the one talking. You get bored, you know? I was on about DC. Lol, you're having a brain fart. Yes, absolutely, I'm having a brain fart. Multiple in a row, it seems. But yeah, if you're talking about DC, we're currently on the US server. Multiverse only plays on the US server. Also, Multi, you need to move your character, otherwise you're going to get booted. And I play everywhere. So every server that exists, I have a character, at least one character on. At least 10 characters on. So, yeah. And there's always a lot more people on the US server, that's for sure. The majority of the players are here. I think we've hit the bottom of chat. Again, Multi. Is there any more questions that you guys have? Or me or Multi? Probably more so Multi, because my answers are kind of silly.
Oh, Shadow Lady, why don't you post where people can go to go to your channel? We didn't do that last time.
Sure.
Or will you post it at the end?
Oh, yeah, I'll post it. Oh, wait, we're at the bottom? We're at the bottom. I can also put it on in your comments section when we do that too, because
yes,
then people can see it afterwards, because they're scrolling chat, so I'll do that.
well, put it here and then put it in the comments. Let's be safe. Do you have anything special coming up? Like maybe I don't know, a video for your 800 subscribers coming up or something.
Yes, I do. I absolutely have a video coming out for 800 subscribers. But I will tell you it's a character creation. I'm not telling you what that character creation video will be yet. And that's mainly because I have two options and I haven't chosen which one yet. So.
You're so mean to me.
But I think that none of them are ever going to be as good, honestly, as my 7 of 9. 7 of 9 was absolutely my favorite one. But yeah, character creation video coming. And then I've got my from scratch no cash and yeah, base touring, which is really, really fun at the moment. And then anytime new content comes out, I try to cover everything I can about that. So yeah, not quite as comprehensively as Multi does, but as well as I can. I'm
I
hungry.
sh I should probably make a new character soon, maybe Sunday or
You're
Monday.
gonna do a soloing. Aren't you gonna create one and then like solo them as
That,
Fire? You're gonna play Fire, my favorite, right?
yes. Yeah, I'll probably create a Flash character. I'm not sure if I'll start Sunday or Monday. It depends on how busy my weekend will be. But so I'm about to start creating a new character. Basically, I'm overdue for a new walkthrough. It's pretty much dead. Oh, a nice Punisher. So it's pretty much why I want to create a new character and basically play the content from level 1 to level 30 to see if there were some changes that I'm not aware of that were made recently. It's been a while since I did level up a character. So I'm curious to see. Like we early on, we mentioned that it takes roughly 12 hours to go from level 1 to level 30. So let's put that to the test. Also, something that people often ask is, can we play this Universe Online solo, or especially for the smaller servers, like when the servers where there's not a lot of people. One of the solution is to play solo. Sadly, sometimes you have no choice. You have to go the solo road of the solo warrior, and using fire would be a good option to do that. So
Absolutely, it's the best soloing on this game.
so I'm not sure if it's going to be Sunday or Monday. Um, and I'm also wondering. I'm toying with maybe making it. I don't know if I should make it at noon or at 9 a.m. In the morning. Well, actually, it would have to be 10 a.m. because at 9 we have the maintenance.
Oh, you're gonna do it live?
And yeah, I'm toying with also making it live, so it'll be a bit of an event.
Cool.
But if I do it at noon, it'll be like pretty much in your when you sleep. I'm very sad to say.
Oh, that's all right. I'm sure it'll be fine, and you'll get over missing me so much, you know.
Could be. So anyway, so I'm toying with
I want to see it.
so I'm toying with creating a new character, and it's something we'll do live. And I'm just not sure if like I'm talking about maybe doing it at noon, or maybe I could just do it whenever. The reason why I want to do it at noon, I would like to do it at noon, let's say every day, so that people know what to expect or when to expect the next content. Because as we did mention, the evil YouTube sometimes doesn't share the content, but it's a bit restrictive if I do it at noon. Also on Saturday, that's not going to be possible. So that would mean I don't know, from Sunday to Thursday, and on Friday no, from Sunday to Friday, and on Saturday I would take the day off from doing that because sadly Saturday is a busy day. Well, we'll see. So maybe Sunday.
They're gonna be there for my character creation video, so thank you for that.
So maybe Sunday. If not, I'll do it on Monday. But yeah, I'll put a post on that soon.
Cool. I'm looking forward to it. I probably won't be there when you do it live, but I'm looking forward to see what you do because Fire is my absolute favorite, and you're so right. It's like the best soloist, so I'm looking forward to that.
Well, and, technically, all the tank powers should allow you to be able to solo the game, but fire is I think fire is the best because you can pretty much heal yourself.
Yeah, which is amazing and fun. Wildside is asking when do we get the next level skip? I'm hanging out for that.
Probably January 11th. That's usually when we get it. The previous years that's when we get the gifts for the anniversary, the actual anniversary of DC Universe Online. Like we do have the anniversary event, but there's also the actual anniversary where usually we get a bunch of gifts, and we get the CR skip. That's usually when we get it. So sadly, 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 I assume we're not going to get the information about that just yet. Usually for the skip, we'll get it like the day before, or even on the same day. We'll see. But as soon as I have information about that, I'll try to let you guys know.
Scrolls is asking, where can I buy the battle damaged slimline in this day and time?
Sadly, the broker. The broker right now is your only option. Eventually, it will be on the Booster Gold vendor, but I forget which time capsule it comes from, so it may take a while. Oh, like if we do get the mega capsule, let's see.
That's true.
Normally, when we get the
Membership and you get that one.
normally when we do get a mega capsule, we get the 2 time capsule that gets added to the Booster Gold vendor, if I recall correctly. Or am I mistaken, Shadow
Yeah, I
Lady?
think so. No, I think you're right. 2 of them go into it, and 2 new ones have released. So the Resurgence Mega Capsule captures the last 9.
So
With 2
what?
new ones each time.
So whatever time capsule we had before the Joker's Legacy time capsule will probably be added to the Booster Gold vendor.
Yeah.
But for the for the battle damage, I forget where it comes from, but at this point you pretty much have to get it from the broker. Let's go take a look at the broker. Now, so you may get either the collection, or sometimes you can purchase the style itself on the broker. If you see it and you can purchase it, I would strongly suggest buy it because you never know if you're gonna see it again. But that is if you really, really want to have it. Like very often, it's very tempting sometimes to wait and see. Oh, I'll wait and see if I can get it for cheaper later. But if it's something you really, really want, you can. We don't have it just yet.
No.
But if it's something you really, really want, don't run the risk of possibly not being able to get it later on. Get it when you can, because you might regret it later. Like I remember way back when I did get a few of the cosmic material, but not enough. But luckily they did bring it back at some point. But if they had not brought it back, I would have been sad.
They need to bring it back again, because I got it on my EU server character, and I didn't get it on here, and now I need it. So, it has to come back. Even though I look great as a mystical dragon, there are other styles to do.
Scroll is asking. Oh, go on.
I'm really looking forward to the Flash event, as it will be my first time doing it.
It should be soon. Again, my guess would be we'll get it probably Tuesday. And the raid, at some point they added a pretty big raid to that event, which is a pretty awesome raid where you go through a whole bunch of different. They made one big raid with a few different areas that they kind of mushed together, and it's a pretty cool raid.
Yeah.
Also, one of the good thing about that raid, I should probably mention that, is the elite renown. Like if you play the elite version of that raid, when you do get some elite renown, you can actually choose which renown you get. So you can get elite renown for a specific episode playing that one raid. So if there's a raid, if there's some renown that you need for a specific episode that you're not able to get for whatever reasons, that raid will be a great opportunity to be able to get the renown for that.
Cool, I didn't know that. David is saying if you collected it on your own, then you can use replay badges to get it on another character. So that's
Yes,
something that you can
but
unlock.
you have to collect it to begin with. That's the sad part.
Wild side, I think this is what you just covered though. When is the Flash event? Because I want to get a Flash suit, or can I not get the Flash suit anymore?
No, you'll be able to get it at the anniversary event, which again I would guess will be Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. But
I love the anniversary.
we don't really know for sure. We don't have an official announcement just yet. As soon as we do get something official, you guys will know.
I'm so looking forward to it.
That's a good.
Bottom of chat again.
That's good. It's a good event. It's pretty much one of my favorite event. And again, the raid alone is pretty awesome. The sad part is that we only have it a few weeks in the year. So because also because of the loot lock, you can only play the raid really 3-4 times, unless you use replay badges, of course.
I need a bunch of furniture from anniversary.
Well, the Triumph statue are pretty awesome. I love those statues. I wish they gave us more of them.
Yeah.
Normally they give us a few more every year, so I'm curious to see this year which one we'll get. But yeah, those are pretty awesome statues. I wish they gave us those statues, not just with the anniversary event. Like I wish we had a whole bunch of Triumph statues all throughout the year
Yes, so
of
do
a
I.
whole bunch of different characters. But sadly, that's not how it is. Although I'm a foolish fool. Like we had the ice statues in the Christmas event, and I didn't realize that the Christmas event was ending. What was it, yesterday? So I completely forgot to. For some reason I thought it would last until next Tuesday because Tuesday is technically reset
Yeah, the
day,
resets.
and
Yes.
completely forgot that in the case of the summer seasonal, it was ending what, the second. So sadly, I was a foolish fool and didn't get the ice statue I wanted. So I'll have to wait for next year.
Ah, that's tragic. They had a countdown for it that was absolutely inaccurate. It got to the end of the countdown and then 3 more days passed. So
Yeah, but
I think that
I didn't
countdown should be
play.
eliminated.
I didn't play a lot this year.
No, that's
I
fair.
didn't play a lot this week, in part because of the it's Christmas and it's the New Year, so it makes it challenging sometimes to play.
Oh yeah, it's a busy time of year. Wildsight also said, well, I'll have my my post notifications on, so that I'll be waiting for the announcement from you. So you have to provide an announcement. Well,
Let's hope that the evil YouTube will warn you. Well, we'll see.
yeah. I have all my notifications on for your stuff, and I'm not notified straight away. So
Well, I often wonder because you have to have the notification, but then also you have to click the freaking bell.
the bell,
So I'm
yeah.
wondering if like maybe people have the notification but they don't click the bell. Although there's some people who tell me they have the notification, they have the bell, and
I don't.
they still don't get notified. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's true. And
I,
also, apparently, YouTube has not unsubscribed, but removed the bell from people who don't watch the content immediately when they get notifications as well. It hasn't personally happened to me, but apparently it's happened to other people, so that's weird.
okay, I haven't noticed that, but it could be.
Same.
But also because there is something also we can do. We can you can actually pay money so that YouTube will recommend your content. So is that what's going on? Is that are they not recommending your content so that you pay them so that then they finally will recommend it? I don't know. I guess that's going to be the next step. But I don't know. Maybe I brought the channel as far as I could by myself, and now I'm going to have to beg people for money to pay for that kind of stuff. We'll see.
I don't think that's going to happen, Multi.
Why not?
Because people love
Okay.
you. Fred says they need to update the stats on the Speed Force movement mode rings.
They usually do. Usually every year they do upgrade the Speed Force ring. Although it's a bit weird
Yeah.
because they upgrade the Speed Force ring, but they don't upgrade the acrobatic ring. They don't upgrade the flight ring, the Legion flight ring. So it would be nice if they upgraded everything, but oh well. But normally they do upgrade the Speed Force ring, so I assume they will do that this year as well, unless again we do have new devs. It could happen that the new devs decided that no, we're not upgrading it anymore. That could happen.
I've often thought that they should have those rings as something that we can upgrade ourselves with something that's in game or something they add to the game so that we don't have to continuously buy them and have them decrease in value or usefulness as we get our VR rating higher.
Well, that has been suggested quite a few times. To
Yeah.
make it like almost like a artifacts where you would have to upgrade it and upgrade it and upgrade it, or like the
Yes.
omnipotence items. But unlike the omnipotence items, not put a ceiling like or have the ceiling go up, uh, like the augments, like the origin augments. Whenever we get a new DLC, the level cap goes up. So maybe have some rings that we can upgrade and upgrade, and each new DLC would have to upgrade the rings again so that they would be better.
Yeah. So at least something that stops it from being the way that it currently is, where you have to continuously replace it, would be nice. Whitey King says we need shaded comic back. Players are selling it for billions. Yeah.
Yeah, sadly that was to be expected. It's pretty much one of
Yeah.
the more popular material we have in the game. So yes, it will be expensive, and it's been a long time also since we had a version that you could actually trade to other players. Like because some of the latest version we got, uh, you could get it opening. I think if you bought a 20 booster bundle, but it was account bound, so you could not sell it on a broker. So the having a version that you can trade to other players and sell on a broker, been a long time since we had that. So seeing how this is a pretty popular item, yeah, you're gonna have to pay billions for that. So and assuming you're lucky enough to find someone on the trade chat who's actually selling it.
I reckon they'll bring it back. They keep making it rock around again because they make money off of it. So I don't think
Well,
it's going to come back. I just don't know when it will.
well, we know we have a resurgence finger capsule coming up, so who knows? Maybe they'll add. If you open 20 resurgence finger capsule, maybe you'll get the shaded comic chroma. I don't know. We'll see.
I think we're at the bottom again, multi.
So we're good then. So guys, thank you for coming here tonight. Thanks to those of you who came to play with us. Thanks to those of you who came to chat with us. And thanks to all of you who are watching the stream. You guys are awesome. Miss Shadow Lady, any last words before we go?
Thank you for having me. And you guys are great.
So guys, thank you for being here. I hope you guys will have a good weekend. And again, as soon as we do get information about the anniversary event, about the next SCR skip and all that good stuff, I'll let you guys know about it. Bye bye, guys.